Some shows talk about one team. Other shows barely talk sports. This show will talk Packers, Brewers, and Bucks every day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer, served up by Wendy's on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Download the Wendy's app today.
How we doing, folks? How we doing? I am not Steve Sparky Pfeiffer. I am Charlie Houston. I got my guy Tommy Wirtz on the other side of the glass over there. And we are live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky's having a little bit of a technical difficulty over there from the 19th annual toy drive for Children's Wisconsin and Robin's Nest out there at Blaine's Farm and Fleet in Oak Creek. He does have a great show lined up for you guys, and we'll get him on for sure in this next segment. But me and Tommy are going to get you warmed up here. We're going to dive into the Chicago Bears versus the Green Bay Packers today as we get going for this big game coming Sunday afternoon. Tommy and Sparky will be live after the game with the Green Bay football post-game show on there. It should be a lot of fun then. But we are going to dive into Confident, Concerned, and Curious, a segment we do every Friday here on Wisconsin Sports Daily. And Steve Sparky Pfeiffer is actually here, so I'm going to pod him up.
I am.
And get him on. Sparky, how are we doing? Glad we got you on here, my man. Welcome in.
Charlie, I just want to say thank you for being born to the family that you're born to. I really want to say thank you for that, because your father came out here and played Santa Claus today, dropping off a ton of toys out here at the 19th annual toy drive at Blaine's Farm and Fleet in Oak Creek on Rawson Avenue. Again, this is the last day. We're going to 6 o'clock, and then after that, that's a wrap for the 2025 season for the toy drive. Now, that does not mean you can't still donate toys on your own after today. Clearly you can, but as far as being a part of this toy drive here that we're doing, today is the last day to do that. And again, if you can't make it, and if you're listening around the state of Wisconsin, you're listening to us in Duluth or in Superior or in Wausau or in Green Bay, Wisconsin, or in southeastern Wisconsin, you can definitely go online still and donate there at wisportsradio.com. Again, wisportsradio.com. You can also use the text toys, TOYS, to 34984. Toys to 34984. And I need to, before we get into the Confident, Concerned, and Curious, like Charlie was just talking about, need to say thanks to a bunch of different people that have been out here today. By the Yard, one of the great sponsors of the toy drive, dropped off a ton of toys earlier today. So really want to say thank you to them and contributing and being a part of the toy drive today. I thought that was really cool. The other people we have to thank, obviously, is North Shore Fire. You guys have been amazing as well. They donated, I want to say, right around $2,000 in toys today. So big thanks to Toby and the crew for North Shore Fire Department. Oak Creek Fire Department donated like $3,400 in toys last night, late after we were off the air. So thanks to the Oak Creek Fire Department for stepping up big as well. And it's just been awesome, man. Like, everybody is rallying here. Online donations were looking really good today as well coming in. And to me, again, I love this. And I was talking inside to our volunteers inside, and I was telling them, I was like, it's Friday. And they're like, aren't you glad, right? I mean, you made it. It's 5 days. We're almost done. I was like, no. The last day of toy drive, every year I am sad. Every year I am sad that I am sitting here knowing that I got to wait a whole nother year to do this toy drive again for Children's Wisconsin and Robin's Nest. So let's go out with a bang. Let's go out strong. Make sure to get your donations in online, if at all possible, throughout the state of Wisconsin between now and 6 o'clock tonight. I'll be on the air, obviously, till 5 o'clock, along with my guy, Charlie Houston, back in the studio. Time now to do Confident, Concerned, and Curious. We're having some issues with our live streaming on X and YouTube, so that may not be a thing today. But that's okay. We'll survive without it. Charlie, what are you most confident in? And I want to hear from everybody as well. Nicolay Law Talk and text line 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. You can also text in or obviously call. Also, you can use the social media at WI Sports Radio. What are you confident in this Packers team going into this game Sunday against the Bears, Charlie?
I am most confident, and it's something that we semi-touched on earlier in the week here, is that one of these two quarterbacks is going to lose this game for one of these two teams going into this matchup on Sunday. But what I am changing my mind on a little bit, and I said this earlier in the week as well, I had said that I feel like Jordan Love could potentially be that guy that could mess up and be the person that is not as confident in a situation like this, in a game where the Bears just have a little bit more juice potentially in that matchup. But at the same time, now that I've watched all the different takes on the Chicago Bears, on the Green Bay Packers over the course of this week, I am not as confident in Caleb Williams in this game as I was at maybe Monday, Tuesday when we were talking about this matchup. I'm pretty confident Caleb Williams is going to throw 2 interceptions in this game. I don't know if it's going to result in a loss for the Chicago Bears, but I'm pretty confident this feels like a game where Jeff Hafley is going to have the defense step up. I heard Micah Parsons talk earlier today, and he was discussing about how much the Bears are making him mad with this rivalry nonsense that they're talking about and all this. And this feels like a situation where Caleb Williams has to step up. And I don't know if throughout the season we've seen him or the Bears offense step up more. And I know I've given a lot of credit to Caleb Williams, but the more I'm hearing about how other people are looking at this team this late in the season, I take off those rose-colored glasses and I see the Chicago Bears, who are, getting lucky occasionally at the end of these games. Now, again, I don't know if that results in a loss for the Chicago Bears that they throw 2 interceptions, but I think it is something that is almost a certainty for this team now.
Okay, this is something that I need to ask, because you weren't at the Christmas party last night that we had, so you didn't get to see Tommy and his girlfriend.
Nope. I heard the whole story. Yep.
You heard the whole story that she has a famous father that he failed to tell none of us about until this morning, which, again, to me, is kind of like lying on your resume. I don't quite understand how nobody in the building knows this until this morning. And then when we all find out.
Who said girlfriend? No one said girlfriend.
Oh, sorry, fiance. But either way, we still should be informing all of us who the dad is of this future wife of yours, baby mama, whatever you want to call her. I want to make sure that we're all are you turning red on camera? I think you're kind of turning red. Are you all right?
I'm not turning red.
I think it's my jersey reflecting.
Yeah, I think that I'm working
it's
in
a jersey
because it's Friday now, so
it is,
and it's after the holiday party and everyone's not in, so I'm going to work here because I feel lonely in the locker room otherwise. So just want to look at Charlie, even though he's wearing a Bears jersey today. I am.
Yeah, but he just said Caleb was going to throw 2 picks.
Yeah,
really, how much of a Bears fan is he? Really, we think about it.
It feels like he's like, I'm gonna just hope to say something negative so I can either look right or the Bears win, right? Like at this, like that's probably what it is. Yeah, it's a win-win. See, exactly, same deal.
All right, so let's talk about this. So he says 2 interceptions. Rome Odunze not playing in this game is a big loss, I think, for the Chicago Bears. Even though, Charlie, you pointed out earlier in the week, he's kind of been faded out of this offense a little bit as they've been running the ball more, using other tight ends a little bit more. I mean, Loveland was ignored the first half of the year. Now all of a sudden he's starting to get some targets.
Yeah.
Yes. Now he's getting targets at tight end after being ignored most of the year. And you know what it correlates with. Kay dropped him. And the very next week, Loveland took off. So I think she also may be a jinx in fantasy like I am. But either way, I look at this game and my view has not changed on it at all. And that is, it's going to be all about playing heavy up in the box, making him beat you with his arm, and stopping the run. Because regardless of who his targets are, if you can't stop their 2 running backs and both their guys run over 100 yards, you're going to either lose or need something crazy to happen at the end to win. That is not the situation you want to be in going down the stretch. In my mind, you want this game done by the 4th quarter. You want to put this bad boy to bed and just have your offensive line lean on them in the 4th quarter, a couple big gashing runs from Jacobs or Wilson, and call this a day. I'll say this. I'm confident that this Packers team is going to win by 14 points or more at the end of the day. Because the one thing I know about Jeff Hafley, he loves being conservative. It takes a little bit for him to be aggressive. And this game plan here defensively calls for a conservative game plan of keeping everything in front of you, playing up, bringing Evan Williams up into the box, and making sure they don't run. He loves that style of defense. This is how he thrives in this style of defense, Charlie. So from that perspective, I think they'll be able to execute the defense. I think they'll stop this running game. Caleb Williams can't beat anybody with his arm most of the time. So I feel really good going in this game. I know a lot of Packer fans are a little nervous, like, oh, it might be a little close. Hey, I'm all right. I feel good. I feel I feel like we're going to be talking about a Packers whooping of the Bears on Sunday. Me and Tommy Wirtz and Green Bay Football postgame show, powered by Lakeland University. It's going to be a fun show Sunday. Charlie, if you want, we will call you after your team loses, and we can get you on the show with us.
Does that still stand if my team wins, Sparky? Can I call in?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
It goes both ways.
All right.
Yeah,
Sounds
absolutely.
good. Perfect.
Yeah, I'm not worried about them winning. So, yes,
You've
absolutely.
said that
Sure.
so many
Tommy's
times
there.
this
So, yeah.
season, and like each game that you've talked about that you're so confident in the Packers, it ends
There's
up
a
not
difference.
being as confident.
No,
Not
no, there's a difference.
sometimes they win,
I have
but
19
it's not
years.
as confident.
I have 19 years of evidence on this one. I have toy drive magic coming off of the end of the
I
toy
see.
drive.
Okay.
And I usually get my picks right the weekend after the toy drive. I may suck the rest of the year, but coming off of that, I'm pretty good, man. I'm telling you, I'm feeling good about this. All right, so that's what I'm confident in. Concerned. What are we concerned about going into this game, Charlie, using from a Packers standpoint going up against the Bears?
From a Packers perspective, this is going to be a game that you are going to get big players coming back. We've heard a lot about Jaden Reed getting healthier and what he brings to the offense just from the coaching staff as they've done their press conferences over the past couple of days. Quay Walker looks like he could potentially come back in this game. Nate Hobbs is a guy that they've talked about is ramping up here.
Right.
At the same time, what we also talked about yesterday on Wisconsin Sports Daily was that this is going to be an aggressive game where guys are going to be probably a little rude to each other. They're going to throw each other around a little bit. They're going to hit each other in spots where guys are maybe a little defenseless. This is a situation where the Packers cannot afford to lose anybody to injuries this late in the season. We've seen at the defensive back position how weak they can be when they start losing their top couple of guys. Let's say you go out there and you lose another person in the front seven because you lost Devontae Wyatt last week. This is a situation where I don't think the Packers can afford to go down with a massive injury once again because they are playing so well right now. You're starting to see them gel a little bit and find where they are. On offense, I'm not as worried about it, but on the offensive line, if one of those guys goes down, you're all the way back into the carousel that we saw throughout the first couple of weeks.
I think my concern going into this one is the health of the linebacker play in this one, keeping those guys healthy, right? Guys that play up against the run, Quay Walker, McDuffie, those guys. You can't have one of those guys go down. I mean, the big guys up front, you already lost your best big guy in the middle of Devontae Wyatt. Now you hope Brinson, the rookie, comes in and has a good game and so forth. But you really need the linebackers to stay healthy. You lose one or two linebackers to injury, it's going to be a problem stopping both those running backs. Even though you know what's coming, it's going to be an issue at that point. So for me, my concern, I guess, going in would be just making sure those linebackers are healthy. You can play all four quarters. You can continue to lay a thumping on those Bears running backs if they get through that first line as they play as the second line of defense. Curious. What are we curious about, Charlie Usum?
I'm curious to see if this is another consecutive week of a Jordan Love MVP type performance. We've heard people talk about it a lot on the national media, how he's kind of sliding into that top 4 category, especially after his performance last week on Thanksgiving. This is another statement game for Jordan Love. And I wonder if Matt LaFleur is going to, again, keep building on that or revert back to a run game now that we're seeing, again, a Josh Jacobs come back into this lineup and is healthier again after having another week of practice under his belt. Manuel Wilson has been really good when he's on the field. Seen the offensive line start to gel a little bit more. You would think he's going to lean into that run game more heavily, but at the same time, when you have your opportunities to throw the ball and get the ball downfield, he needs to take those. And I'm really curious to see if that's going to be the case.
I'm curious to see whether or not Jordan Love can be patient, right? I mean, that's really what it is. I don't think Dennis Allen is going to blitz a ton one way or the other. If Dennis Allen does determine that the Bears should blitz a ton on Jordan Love, I think Jordan Love's going to destroy him. I don't think they can hang with this deal. Now, I know the Bears rush defense is 28th in the league. So, I mean, if you're the Green Bay Packers, you look at that and you just smile from ear to ear and go, we're going to run the ball down your throat for 4 quarters. That should be the game plan. But off of that, he's going to want to take his shots. When he drops back, goes play act, and that safety's coming across the top, and somebody's running with Watson, you going to throw it? Or are you not going to throw it and take the check down or go somewhere else with the ball? Or are you going to try and force the ball in double or triple coverage? To me, that's a big deal here. You do not want to be in this game where he tries to force a couple balls. Those result in turnovers, cost you points, you lose by 3. Like you can't have that. He's got to play turnover-free ball and take what's in front of him and not try to force the issue. You want to force the issue one-on-one and it gets picked? I'll live with that. But don't force the issue when there's 2 and 3 guys in the area and you still try to see if Christian Watson can play Superman and come down with that ball. And once in a while, he might come down with the ball still. But in this game, I don't want to play that game in this game.
Like we've heard all week, this Bears defense is going to take advantage of opportunities you give them. So you have to find those exact moments because they're going to give you at least 4 opportunities to bust the coverage downfield somewhere, somehow. And you have to know that that is the time to take it. If you try to be aggressive, this is the strongest the Bears secondary has been all season, and they've been pretty damn good all season. So now you add in a Jalen Johnson, who's going to be playing a full game potentially here, a Kyler Gordon into that secondary. I mean, you already have Kevin Byard and Nashawn Wright. Both those guys have been awesome ball hawking this season. This is an opportunity for Jordan Love, to kind of knock their confidence down a little bit, a group that's been fantastic getting players back from injury, and also boost his own.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, we're going to take a quick time out. Confident, concerned, and curious. And coming up next, I think, is he coming up next? Because 3 o'clock he's coming up. So he's just hanging out here with me, just chilling? Well, why don't you just co-host with me all the way? You just go all the way up to like 3:20. If you know sports, I'm learning Wisconsin sports. Oh, no. He's learning Wisconsin sports. God only knows who he roots for then. We're going to have to figure this out. He's 6 foot. Oh, he's saying he's a Packers fan now. And a Bucs fan. All right. So he's up. All right, he's up. Gil Perry, the president and CEO of Children's Wisconsin, all 6'8" of them, is sitting in here next to me, making me look like I should be in Wizard of Oz. But that's all right.
I don't think you need him to be there to do that.
Nobody asked you whether or not he needs to be here for me to look like a munchkin. Nobody asked you that, Charlie. 19th annual toy drive for Children's Wisconsin and Robinson is going on right now. Blaine's Farm and Fleet on Rawson Avenue in Oak Creek, collecting cash and toys up until 6 o'clock tonight. We have been here since Monday, people. You've had plenty of time. Do not be a procrastinator at this point. Time is running out. You got to get down here. Let's fill this semi. We still got room on the semi to put more toys. Donate online at wisportsradio.com or text toys. We have been rolling today on the text line with people making donations. Let's not stop now. Keep pushing forward. If you own a company and you can throw couple hundred at it, you got a little extra room, you got a good year, let's do it, man. Text toys to 34984. Text toys to 34984. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank. Steelwind Industries, our top toy donor, again this year, like they are every year. By the Yard, they made a large donation as well. And Metro by T-Mobile, as we broadcast from the Bears sunrooms out here at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky here. Welcome in. It is Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. C. Sparky Pfeiffer, President, CEO. Man, I feel important. Sitting next to me, and I feel short. He is Gil Perry. Gil, thanks for coming out, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Sparky. We appreciate you very much.
Okay, so we're out here at Blaines Farm and Fleet, 19th annual toy drive for Children's Wisconsin and Robin's Nest. Robin's Nest, obviously the foster care arm of Children's Wisconsin. And again, it's not Children's Hospital, it's Children's Wisconsin, because we're doing this across the state, right? I mean, you guys aren't just in southeastern Wisconsin anymore. You continue to expand the footprint.
Yeah, we are Wisconsin's children's health system. So we obviously have our hospitals both down in Milwaukee and in the Fox Valley, but we care for the whole child. And so we have 49 locations throughout the state.
Woo!
We have foster care and adoption, child advocacy centers, primary care throughout the whole state. Lots of great partnerships with adult health systems because we have 7,500 team members. We call our employees team members. They're not employees, they're team members, and they dedicate their lives to kids. And that's all they care about. And so we are responsible for all of Wisconsin's kids in partnership and making sure that we are out there providing support and hopefully preventing injury and disease.
Yeah, that's amazing stuff. And we're going to get to sports talk. He decided he wanted to co-host with me instead of just doing his 3 o'clock hit. So we are going to do a sports topic here. But before we get to that, you've been at other children's prior to coming to this one, right?
Yep.
So where have you been?
I've been in Colorado.
Okay.
So Children's Colorado.
And that's where you're from.
Yeah, I grew up there until
not from Chicago, Charlie. Too bad.
Chicago. I'm a Wisconsinite now. You can't take it out of me.
I couldn't handle another Bears fan right now. I was not going to deal with that well. Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah, and then as I grew my career, I was in Indiana, and I came here. Peggy Troy, who was here 15 years, and as she retired, I'm her successor. And so honored to serve in this great organization. And it's rare to have one children's hospital responsible for the whole state. We're the only children's hospital dedicated to kids in the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So it's an honor.
And you service people from all over the country. They fly in for this.
Yeah, we have patients from all over the country, all over the world. We have certain specialists that are world's best here in Wisconsin. And so people from all over, what we say, Milwaukee, Maine, and Morocco, they come to us for our expertise.
You did not say U.S. best. You said world's best.
World's best in many, many specialties, and only getting better.
Yeah.
Only getting better.
It's awesome. So we'll talk more about Children's Wisconsin as we go, but he's a big sports guy. You went to, where'd you go? South Florida?
South Florida and Tampa. Yeah.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah.
So you all right with all this snow?
I'm loving it. We like to have fun in the snow.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, good. All right. I like this Gil Perry guy. This is going good. All right. So before we came on, I was like, all right, Gil, so you want to do it? He's like, well, what's the topic? All right. So this is the topic. We got a poll question up right now. WI Sports Radio on X on YouTube as we're streaming live. You can check out our beautiful faces there. Also follow us on Instagram, Facebook. The question is this: out of all the Wisconsin sports greats, where would you rank Giannis at this point? Where would you rank Giannis at this point? So I'll just help you out. Robin Young, pretty good. Hall of Famer. Brett Favre, Hall of Famer. Aaron Rodgers, gonna be a Hall of Famer. Bart Starr, as Leroy Butler has told me for as long as I've known Leroy Butler, when we talk about Packer greats, he goes, Bart Starr's the universe, and then the rest of us, we're just kind of planets and stars with inside his universe. That's how Leroy Butler always puts it. So those are some of the ones that we can put in there. So think of whoever you are. We got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Oscar Robertson. I mean, we got all kinds of guys that have played here, and we've been fortunate as Wisconsin sports fans to see a lot of great players come through these parts in Wisconsin. So where would you put Giannis as far as all-time Wisconsin sports greats? The poll question is up. Charlie, what's the poll question officially?
So the poll question is, where would you rank them? The options, you have the GOAT, so the greatest of all time, for those of you that don't know the cool lingo that us kids use nowadays.
Thank
top
you,
3, top 5, or top 10. I'm going to assume most people aren't putting him outside of the top 10, so I ended it there at the top 10.
That's good. Very good. And Charlie can look at that and read some responses as we go. You can comment on X or on YouTube as well in the chat section, dugout chat section. Charlie can read those too. Or, of course, the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. We'd love to hear from you in that perspective as well. And again, that's 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. Thanks for listening on WNFL in Green Bay, in the Appleton area, in Wausau as well, 93.9 The Game, 710 The Game in the Duluth and Superior area, and of course here in southeastern Wisconsin on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. Gil, would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first?
I'll share with you my thoughts, and I'll turn it over to the expert. So Giannis is a top 3. That's my answer. Top 3. Star and Lou Alcindor Jabbar is my top 3 with Giannis. Good company. It's
interesting here because in Sports Talk Radio, and I think a lot with fans, but definitely in sports talk radio and sports talk TV, most times when you do lists like this, it's based on championship rings. That's usually how it goes. Now, there are certain guys that get passes. Dan Marino never finished, but he gets a pass. We talk about all-time great quarterbacks, right? Elway wasn't going to be in that conversation, and then at the end, he snuck 2 in at the end to put himself really cemented in that category at the end. So in here, when we start talking about the guys, Favre's got 1, been to 2. Rodgers has 1, been to 1. Starr's got 2 handfuls of championships. Robin Yount never got there, but stayed with this team the whole time and never left Milwaukee, even though he could have, like Molitor did, and never left, and is probably the greatest Brewer of all time, I think, in many people's minds. So you have that to consider. Now, the Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar part of it is, yes, he won a championship, but he asked out and asked to be traded and forced his way out of Milwaukee to go to L.A. So you hold that against him. Oscar was at the end when he got here, but still was a part of it. So he obviously is in the conversation. I think for me, when we look at this whole thing, I don't think I can. I'm gonna say Giannis is one, y'all. I'm gonna say Giannis is one on this hill of players. Now, if you've listened to the show the last couple of days, you know I'm infuriated and angry at Giannis and so forth over all this stuff floating around out there right now about staying, going, and all this other stuff. But if we're just being real about stuff, as far as being dominant the way he's been for these many years, I mean, the man's won most improved player, defensive player, MVPs. He's won an NBA championship. They won the NBA Cup that he cares about. I don't, but they won the NBA Cup as well. He's done everything you could probably ask of a player. And as he stated, what was it last week, Charlie? He thinks he's going to be the all-time scoring leader in NBA history in 4 years. So that's something that you're not going to get from anybody else. I mean, Favre leads the world in interceptions, I guess, but that's really not a positive stat, Gil, that you want to really attach yourself to. So I think Giannis is one. But I'm interested to see what everybody else thinks. Nikolai Law, talking text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. Socials, WI Sports Radio. Make sure to do that. Charlie Usen, what do you say?
Before I give you my answer, I want to ask you one quick question about Giannis being number 1 on your list. Do you think that is more why you are so angry about what's happening these past couple of days, because he is that number 1, because it just hurts more that he's talking like this, or his agents are talking like this and all that? Like, would this have changed if he was number 5 on this greatest of all time?
Okay. Let me see if I can help you. Well, Michael Redd left, I didn't care. It's like, okay, good luck. I mean, he was a really good player, but whatever, fine.
He was a Giannis.
They traded Big Dog. Glenn Robinson. That hurt a little bit. I loved Glenn. I wasn't a big Ray Allen guy. Really wasn't by the time he left. But when Ray Allen left, I was totally fine with Ray Allen leaving because they were blowing that organization up. Love Sam Cassell on the Bucks. That's like when he left, sure. But as far as like all in, obviously, I mean, Brett Favre, Packers were not good for a long time prior to Brett Favre. So that obviously was a big deal. But for me on that team, it was more about Leroy Butler and Reggie White, Gilbert Brown. I don't know. I'm weird. I was more about that side of the ball. And Favre threw so many interceptions. I mean, against the Rams, he threw 5 or 6 in a playoff game, man. Like, he lost them a lot of playoff games that cost them more opportunities to go to the Super Bowl. So I was never really in on him. Aaron Rodgers, yeah, he's okay. But again, by the time it was all said and done with the McAfee show and everything else and wouldn't shut up, that wasn't a big deal to me either. It was time to move on. The Giannis stuff, though, I mean, you tell me, Gil, like, if you could pick that role model person, and I know athletes aren't role models, but if you were to pick like that guy, wouldn't Giannis have been that guy if you were a kid? I mean, J.J. Watt obviously is in the conversation, probably, of being another guy that you're like cool, like, okay, I'm cool with him being your role model at this point with everything J.J. Watt did and Houston for the Storms and everything they went through and all that. But Giannis kind of was and probably still is that guy for a lot of kids.
He is. You can't find an athlete that cares more about his community than Giannis.
Yes.
So he's unbelievable on the court. He's even better off the court. So I agree with you. I don't think anyone comes close.
No. And so for me, it's the whole ball of wax, I guess you could say, Charlie. That's an old person term. Old ball of wax that he brings to the table more so than everybody else that we kind of mentioned. And he's got the ring, and he's got all the accolades to go with it. Like, there's really not anywhere where you can poke a hole and go, but. Now, again, if at some point he commands a trade, okay, well, now they'll be poking some holes, and then, everybody will revisit the topic because they're going to be heated and hot. And then we'll come back to this in 10 years when Gil's here for the 30th annual toy drive, because next year's 20. And then we'll revisit this topic and see if Giannis is still one. But I think right now, for me at least, Giannis is one at this point. What say you, Charlie?
I think Giannis is one. I think I'm with you. I think
there you go, Charlie. Boy, you're having a good day, Charlie.
Thanks. I appreciate that. For the longest time throughout my growing up, I think it was Aaron Rodgers. And I think Aaron Rodgers had this hold on my generation of sports fans because he felt like he was doing crazy things every week. And then he had these insane stat lines that I had never seen before. He's won all these MVPs. He was this great player. And then as you grow up, you kind of see, I guess, comparing him to Giannis, the type of person he is, where he's much more recluse. He has this opinion of himself that he carries much higher than other people. It's just a strange situation that he had at the end of his time in Green Bay. And if Giannis's situation ends similar to that, I think it would be a little bit of a closer debate. But at the same time, Giannis's impact on who the Milwaukee Bucks have become as a team, as an organization, matters so much in this debate too. I think with Aaron Rodgers, he went into a situation in the Green Bay Packers who have so much history, have these legends that came before him, and his job was just to uplift that and keep that upheld, which I think he did for a majority of his run with Green Bay. Giannis really had to build something with the Bucks, and yeah, there was something there from the 70s, but at the same time, that doesn't mean much when it's 2019, and at that point, when he's starting to raise this team to get to that point in 2021 where they win a championship, that means something to the city and the state, more so than what I think Aaron Rodgers did during his time.
And speaking of those Bucks, when the Bucks win, you win at Wendy's. Get yourself a free small chocolate or vanilla frosty classic at Wendy's within 24 hours of every Bucks victory throughout the season, and they always go through the postseason as well. Hopefully, they'll get on a little bit of a roll here, even though Giannis is out for 2 to 4 weeks. But they pulled out that last one against the Pistons, so maybe they get on a roll, gives us some more free frosties as well. So make sure to take advantage of that. Take a quick time out, come back. Are you hanging around, or are you what are you doing, man?
I'm hanging with you. I'm hanging.
You're good.
Yeah,
He was making eyes with Kelly at Children's. I was like, oh, I think he's going to bail on me. I think that's what's about to happen. So you're good.
I'm here.
We're going to talk about dumb Bulls fans next. You good with that?
Let's do it.
Okay, good. Yeah. That's Straight Ahead, Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, out here, Blaines Farm and Fleet, 19th annual toy drive for Children's Wisconsin. Need your toys. If you're going inside Blaines Farm and Fleet, please, a toy or two would help for the kids coming up this holidays. And, of course, cash donations on site. We have our QR code on site you can scan. It's not really a big thing in Oak Creek. I think I've seen one person use it. People in Oak Creek carry cash, man. It's a thing. I don't know. So we got that going on. And not only do we have that, but you can also go online, wisportsradio.com as well. Coming up next, we'll talk about dumb Bulls fans straight ahead here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Sparky with you.
Nice to meet you. Appreciate
Welcome in. It is the 19th annual toy drive for Children's Wisconsin and Robinson. As Gil Perry is out here, all 6'8" of him. I can't even imagine 6'8". I mean, when somebody sees, now you're the president and CEO of Children, so obviously you have a whole nother aura around you when they find out what you do. But like when you're growing up and you're that tall and you're whatever, I don't know your athletic background, but I'd imagine people see you and go, that's a basketball player there. He'll go D1. He's going to be something. I mean, expectations when you're that big on you athletically is not the same as it is on a 5'6" guy growing up at all.
Well, you can throw the alley-oop. I'm sure you can throw the alley-oop.
I'll get it close.
Now, Sparky, you wouldn't believe I have an identical twin. There's two of us.
No, you do not.
You twin towers? Ralph Sampson, Elijah one have nothing on the Perry brothers.
Like Brooke Lopez and Robin Lopez.
Correct. Now we don't have the jump shot nor the sky hook, but we're good. We beat up each other pretty well.
That's good.
Yeah.
So how far did you go playing basketball?
So we played in high school and walked on at USF, didn't play much and decided to focus on our studies, which was probably a good bet.
Yeah.
But South Florida is actually a decent team now.
See, I think sometimes tall guys get screwed because if you're in a community where there aren't a bunch of other tall guys, you're playing center. But then when it gets time to play real basketball, now all of a sudden, now you got to play small forward. Now you got to have more handles, all that stuff, right?
So that's one of my pet peeves. They said, you must have played center. I'm a 3. I got a jump shot. Don't judge me because I'm 6'8".
You should have went to Wisconsin. They're all about bigs that can shoot.
Yeah, exactly. But, I can't shoot that well, but I can shoot.
That's good. Yeah. See, we learned something about Gil Perry. The one thing that we all know, Illinois fans, not so smart. Lou Canellis was on The Score in Chicago, Charlie. Is that correct?
He was on Fox 32. They were playing the sound.
Oh, okay, right. So Lou Canellis, sports anchor on Fox 32. He's been in the Chicago market for 100 years. Been around a while. Got to talking about Giannis and the Bulls.
I can tell you that Giannis and his representatives reached out to the Bulls about a potential deal, and the Bulls said they weren't interested. They were not interested in breaking up their young core or changing their course of direction that they have laid out with AK and Mark Eversley right now. Maybe things have changed.
I'm going to need a minute to process that.
How can you say that with a straight face if you're Lou Canellis? I mean, you should saw Gil's face. He's hearing that. He's like, oh, come on, man. I mean, you tell me. If I was ownership, I'd fire everybody. And I'd fire everybody. I'd go down there and be like, I want you to watch this. I'd play it. Is this true? Well, yeah, Mr. Reinsdorf. Yeah, it is. You're fired. Get out of my office. I'll find somebody on the street to come run this team. They're smarter than you. I mean, how do you say no to that?
Giannis will change the team. He changed the league. He'll change the team. That's shocking.
He'd go from love to hate it if he requested to go to the Bulls.
That's true. You can't go there.
And that's the one common thing here when we talk about Giannis, right? We heard the story of, I want to be a Knick, according to one report, and they were trying to get him to go to New York. Now, here's another large market in Chicago. That's why it tells me this is all agent driven. The agents see a lot of money for themselves and are trying to get him to a bigger market to make themselves more money. And I'm sure he'll make more money too. But my God, I mean, he's got a lot of money, Gil.
He does, and he's got a lot of impact. So we would hate to lose him from this community.
That next deal, he's going to make like $75 million a year.
Yeah. That
next contract that he gets from whoever the team is going to be in the next couple of years. Like, that's crazy. So the question that we put up, and I really I'm curious to see what we all think about this one. How many other teams do you think would have the same response as Chicago did of, we're not interested. We're going to build around our young core. Nicolay Law Talk and text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250 on socials at WI Sports Radio, or we're streaming live on X and on YouTube. Charlie, you being Chicago Charlie and being a Bulls fan, I can't wait to hear what you think about this.
See, you act like Jerry Reinsdorf cares. Like he even goes out there and knows who's on his team currently at this moment. If he went out there and heard that, those guys said we weren't interested in Giannis Antetokounmpo, he'd probably just say, who's Giannis Antetokounmpo?
Shut up. No,
That's
he
what
wouldn't.
He would say. I don't know, Jerry
he wouldn't.
The Bulls just have this idea that they can make something out of nothing no matter what, and that they want to try and give any version of their teams like 2 to 3 seasons before they move on from it at all. And they love Josh Giddey. And Josh Giddey has played pretty good so far this season, at the same time on a 500 basketball team that still can't play any defense.
He's not Giannis.
He is not. And I think at this point, the the problem with the Chicago Bulls, they say this, and Lou Canels can come out here on the news and say this. I think the bigger problem is they just don't have enough assets to make a real true trade for Giannis without blowing up their entire organization. That's almost impossible. I think there's a couple other franchises that would have that same type of problem at this moment trading for a Giannis. So yeah, I think while the Bulls say this, that's probably just more so them trying to admit that they can't do it without admitting that they can't do it. I think the Trailblazers would have a pretty similar response to this because they just don't have enough without blowing up their entire franchise to do that.
Listen, and I don't see what Gil thinks of this. I don't care what you think we have. If we're not a playoff team and we don't look like we're going to compete for a championship in the next decade, I'm blowing up everybody if I have a chance to get Giannis. And if I'm in Chicago or New York or LA and I know players want to play in those markets and will come, it's not Milwaukee, and want to come to play in those markets and have an opportunity to play with Giannis, everybody is fair game. Everybody can be gone. I will not be indebted to anybody on this roster if I can get Giannis. Not only that, even if you don't win a ton, you imagine ticket sale increases when Giannis is wearing your team's jersey, Gil. I mean, you're president and CEO of Children's. You know the marketing angle and how to make money and all of that. You tell me.
Yeah, he's a force multiplier. When we recruit surgeons and physicians and nurses, we look for the best of the best.
You recruit.
We recruit. Different kind of
I'm going to go recruit. Can I use NIL money?
And hey, we'll take whatever it takes to bring the best and brightest to Wisconsin.
That sounds fun.
But he is a force multiplier. When he joins a team, he does so much more than win games. He raises everyone's game. He enables the community to be excited about a product. And so that's why we want him to stay here. He's got to stay here in Milwaukee.
When you watch this Bucks team, being a former basketball player, what do you like? What don't you like?
I love that they work hard. Doc Coach has them working so hard. They outperform in games where they're not expected to win. They've got role players that know how to step up regardless of the night. Injuries, you got different people stepping up. And they give themselves a chance not every game. Most games, they give themselves a chance. You can't say that about most teams in the NBA.
That was positive. Now, what's the other side of it?
The other side is when they lose really, really bad. And you can see they get down on themselves. So I think there's some maturity that they'll continue to grow as a team. You know, they're forming still as a team. And Giannis is the glue. And so we're hoping he stays.
We've been talking about this. People want to get rid of Doc, don't like Doc, whatever, fine. But if Giannis is out 2 to 4 weeks, like he was out the last time, you can't legitimately expect them to win more games than they lose. I don't think you can even legitimately expect them to win as many games as they lose at this point. You have to expect a losing record of some sort over the next 2 to 4 weeks because you just don't have that talent to step up. Like if Lillard was healthy and playing last year, okay, you still have that guy that can give you 30 every night to kind of carry you with the role player stepping up and still doing their deal. But you lose Giannis, and there is nobody that can take that.
No, he's got big shoes, literally and figuratively. And, but you got Rollins, you got Miles. People can have really dangerous games, MVP-style games. But, Giannis is a force multiplier.
Yeah, no question about that. Charlie, my answer to this question is I would say it's less than 5. Would be my guess, right? So maybe if it's San Antonio of like, I've got Wembanyama, we're good. I got young guys around him. I just gave De'Aaron Fox this money. I got Stephen Castle. I got all these guys. I'm good. I probably don't need to do that. Denver doesn't have the assets unless you put Joker in. They're not putting Joker in. So Denver may not be able or willing or wanting to necessarily make that deal. You know, the craziest thing I saw. I mean, that's crazy, right? Then I saw last night people talking about Reeves with the Lakers. Now, again, he's nice. He's a nice player, nice little off guard, whatever you want to call him. People losing their minds. If we have to trade Reeves for Giannis, we're out. We're not trading Reeves for Giannis. Man, you must be kidding me. Like you have Luka. You'd have Luka and Giannis, and you're worried about Reeves being on the Bucks, and you're out as a fan? Like that's crazy talk.
That also tells me how much people don't understand the impact Giannis has on a team. That's undervaluing Giannis, which is disrespectful. And I think he is somebody who, once you play with him and once you really watch the way he works and elevates the team, you'll understand his value.
Yep, no doubt about it. Don't forget, if you are a Bucks fan, if you don't want to pay for all that expensive parking downtown, Potawatomi Casino Hotel, baby. Free parking structure. It's great. It's covered. If it snows, you're all good. All you got to do to get on that shuttle, go to the Potawatomi Sportsbook, make a same game day wager, ask for a bracelet, you're on. or make a purchase of the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and you're good there too. And again, that kitchen is amazing that they have 48 beers on tap, dozen different specialty cocktails, desserts and pastries made every day right there at the hotel. You got all day brunch. You got all kinds of different food options. The John Kuhn platter. I can't finish it, but you all can give it a shot as well. Get your bracelet and away you go. It leaves an hour and 15 minutes before the game. Return starting in the third quarter. Make sure for more information, go to Potawatomi.com and you get more information there. Coming up next, we'll dive a little bit more into Children's Wisconsin in his assigned time slot. Gil Perry, President, CEO of Children's Wisconsin, hanging out with us out here at the 19th Annual Toy Drive for Children's Wisconsin in Robinson. That's Blaine's Farm and Fleet in Oak Creek on Rawson Avenue. Last day. Get your butt here before 6.
Some shows talk about one team. Other shows barely talk sports. This show will talk Packers, Brewers, and Bucks every day. Every day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer, served up by Wendy's on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Download the Wendy's app today.
Welcome in. It is Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. 19th annual toy drive for Children's Wisconsin and Robin's Nest, which is the foster care arm of Children's Wisconsin. All these toys help people. As you heard earlier, Gil Perry, my co-host, also side hustle president and CEO of Children's Wisconsin. I'm telling you, he's gonna be my co-host on the show. Watch, you just watch. It's gonna be like a Children's Wisconsin Wednesday with Gil and Sparky. So this is the thing. We're out here, Blades Farm and Fleet in Oak Creek on Rawson Avenue. Coming out here, drop off a toy. You've had plenty of opportunities. We're out here till 6 to do that. We take cash donations. We got a QR code you can scan as well. You can go online, donate there, wisportsradio.com. Also, we have other things coming up between now and 5 o'clock when we're done. The other thing we have to talk about is there's a very cool deal coming up here. So coming up at about 3:15 or so, the Oak Creek High School Chamber Choir is going to be out here, and they're too big to apparently go inside. So yesterday we had the Pius High School Choir out here. They were inside. They were outside singing Christmas carols. They were awesome. These folks that are coming from Oak Creek High School are also performing at the tree lighting ceremony tonight at Drexel Town Square here in Oak Creek. So I think this is going to be even more next level than what we've had, and they're going to perform for our guy Gil Perry here and put on a show. The Cottrell family will be out here. Those of you that have listened to me for 19 years of doing this, you know the story of Bubba Fight, Dawson Cottrell, and him battling cancer and everything he went through. So he's part of that choir, and his family are going to be out here. We'll talk with him and his family coming up at about 3:20 after we're done talking with Gil. So stay tuned for that. 4 to 6, we're going to have the food responders, right? King's Catering out of Oak Creek. They're back. They were here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Too cold yesterday. Truck wasn't going to work yesterday in single digits, but they're back today. I get my meatballs that I wait for every year on Friday from these fine folks, run by Steve Wilding, a former firefighter who was across the street firefighting before he retired and would bring us food every Friday of every toy drive all the way through. Now is doing this on the side and is killing it. Tonight, we have meatballs. Plus, we're going to have a macaroni and cheese bar. So it's going to be macaroni and cheese. You can add brisket, you can add pulled pork, you can add buffalo chicken, you can add whatever you want, and they'll throw it all together for you, and you can have it. This food is on point. I'm telling you, Gil.
Sounds like a place to be.
And it's in like an old fire truck, and it's called Food Responders, and their food is awesome. The people inside here at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, that was the number one question they had. Cool that you're coming back. Is the food truck coming back? Yeah, the food truck's coming back, and they come out here every day to come get some food, so very cool. Okay, Gil Perry, so let's talk about Children's Wisconsin. So you get here. What's the vision, man? Right? I mean, you're the new guy in charge. What's the vision of 5 years now, 10 years now? What's the vision?
So I inherited a gem. So Peggy Troy, who was here 15 years
awesome.
As CEO, unbelievable leader, unbelievable woman. She put us on the map as a top children's health system in the country. So I inherited a jewel. My job is to make it shine brighter and safely impact more kids, not only in Wisconsin, but throughout the whole region. And so we're going to continue to partner and identify ways we can care for the whole child, not just the medical and surgical.
The mental side.
Yes, including mental and dental and social. We have such an opportunity to impact the whole child. For us, we know that we are the best place for kids, period. Everything from the simple to the most complex. Yep. We have 7,500 team members. That's what we call our employees who have dedicated their lives to kids, where if you have something simple to complex, they're the ones are going to take care of them. This is what they wake up every single day. That's what they've trained for. And that's all they do. That's all we do is care for kids. And so not only do we want to care for them at our hospital campuses, but out in the community through partnership.
We talked about this. We had Nancy Coram on, who's like the VP of nurses and all of that. And I've been friends with Nancy for, 19, 20 years, whatever it's been. So I've known her a long time. And a girl that I know that I was friends with back in the day, she is at Children's Wisconsin. And her deal was she went to school to be a nurse. Okay, fine. A lot of people go to school to be a nurse. This one here, She wanted to be a nurse in the burn unit. That's where she wanted to be. I mean, you tell that to anybody, it was like, oh no, I do not want to work in a burn unit. In children's in a burn unit, absolutely not. I mean, you are talking special people that are nurses and doctors in some of these departments where you couldn't pay anybody enough money to go do this.
We have team members who have literally dedicated their lives to kids. We have people that drive over an hour to get to work one way, and they drive back an hour. I have a nurse, my third week on the job, I was rounding in the cancer unit, and we had a new diagnosis patient, 6-year-old, who was a new diagnosis patient. Single mom who had 3 other kids at home, could not be there with the little girl. She was working, this nurse was working 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And I was talking with her. She goes, do you know what I'm about to do? At 7 o'clock, I'm going to go home, put my own kids to bed. At 9 o'clock, I'm coming back to read to this little girl. This is what we have at Children's Wisconsin. And guess what, Sparky? She did not get paid for that. She was not asked to do that. And guess what? She had to be back at 7 a.m. the next morning.
Oof.
But we have 7,500 team members who literally live for kids. So anything from the simple ankle sprain, broken arm, etc., to, God forbid, cancer or any of our neurosciences or orthopedic conditions that are severe and complex, we have it all, from the 1-minute stay to the 8-month stay. Sometimes we have people, unfortunately, babies who've been with us for years and they have never been home. 3.5 years, 4 years, because the complexity of what they need requires our experts to be with them 24/7.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. And I tell this story all the time on the air. You witnessed it, I'm sure. The idea of somebody having a bad day or whatever the case may be as a child, and then they get that toy from this toy drive or a different toy drive, whatever, and they get that toy and they smile and they forget about what's going on and they just want to play with the toy and, oh, this is so cool. Oh, it makes noises, whatever. And then those parents, they smile and they get tears in their eyes because their baby, their child is happy too. And that power of that toy is much different, with all due respect to everybody with healthy kids like myself, much different than your kid opening a present on Christmas versus what I'm talking about right here. This is a completely different impact in my mind, at least. And mind you, I've used Children's Wisconsin myself. My 3-year-old, when she was born at the end of July she's 3, so 22, right? Is that right? 22? Yeah, 22. We get to Labor Day weekend, she stopped breathing in my arms. And we had to get in the car and go. I wasn't waiting for an ambulance. And we ended up at Children's Wisconsin all of Labor Day weekend being taken care of. Now, fortunately, we were lucky. It was what they call a brew event. Don't ask me about B, don't ask me about R, but UNE is unexplained event. Apparently, it's more common than people realize. It happens once, and then normally it never happens again. And thankfully, it hasn't happened again. But that's a scary time. And we were treated like royalty, obviously, like everybody else is at Children's Wisconsin. So I've been through it to a certain degree. And that is something that once people understand that aspect of it, then this all makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, when you have an experience like that as a lived experience, you realize that you can't take any day for granted.
Nope.
And that you want the best for your kids. And so again, sometimes the simple turns into complex.
Yep.
Hopefully we keep it at simple, but you want the best. And so we're just grateful to attract, I should say retain first. We retain and attract the best talent, people who've dedicated their lives to kids. And we're not satisfied. We are always looking for ways to do it better. We have a research chassis that's looking for new discovery, new treatments, new methodologies. We have education chassis that trains the next generation. 80% of the specialists and pediatricians in the state are trained by us. So they go out in the community and do great work,
right,
whether it's within Wisconsin or even outside of the state. So we're not just a hospital. We care for a lot of kids who need us in a prevention arm, from a child protection arm, foster care. We're the largest social service agency as a children's hospital in the country that works with our state, who we have a great relationship with all of our state lawmakers and all the entities that care for kids. And so I am blessed to be a part of this team who is dedicated to kids.
So, we're in this Bear sunroom, which is absolutely amazing. And yesterday it was cold outside. In here, I think we got it up to 32, which felt warm. Today it's at 51 in here. And because he took off his jacket within about 2 minutes, said, I don't need the jacket, I'm good, which means I get to see the t-shirt. So tell me about the One Team t-shirt.
One Team t-shirt. We every Friday, today's Friday, I'm wearing it. I've never not worn it on Friday. We have all of us wearing this t-shirt, and it's a symbol. So every single one of us wear this t-shirt. The idea is on Fridays, we have kids who ring the bell. And that
Oh, yeah.
means that they are cancer free.
Yep.
They're in remission. They've gone through a lot, and they're ringing the bell.
You see that on
That-
social media a lot with adults.
Adults,
Yeah.
yeah. In this case, these kids do not ring the bell without all 7,500 of us team members.
Whoa.
Whether you're working in finance, or whether you're fundraising for us, or whether you're a surgeon, or whether you're a valet or a barista who's making that mom or
Right.
dad or guardian a Starbucks coffee, it's because of each of our 7,500 team members that we are having the outcomes that we get.
Yeah, that's awesome. Pulling up in front of us right now is Team Bubba Fight. The Cottrell family is here, and they have lots and lots of presents wrapped up in the back of their truck right now. So we'll be hearing from them. We'll be hearing from the Oak Creek High School Chamber Choir coming up as they perform. Well, you won't be hearing from it, but Gil will be hearing from it. He's here. Everybody here at Blaine's Farm and Fleet will be hearing from those guys coming up too. So first time for you coming to the toy drive, being a part of this. What you think?
Sparky, this is amazing. What you guys have done for 19 years, we don't do what we do without you. I want to tell you, you're never going to see all the smiles that you're going to put on these kids' faces. I promise you they're there. You're never going to see the parents who say, I can now have a holiday, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever they celebrate, because of you. And so anybody out there, if you have the opportunity to come and support this amazing, amazing opportunity to really change a kid's life and a trajectory and put a smile. We also focus on mental and behavioral health, and what you're doing is allows people to be kids.
Looks like we are having some technical difficulties here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. We are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will dive back into the 19th annual toy drive here on Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer. Yo, we lost them. I was trying to get his attention, but I don't think he could see me. So, you got me? Hello? We lost them. They are not on air right now. So we got to figure out what's going on. Okay. Gotcha. No problem. I don't think he knows. Okay, bye. Okay, we don't have you guys there. Can we figure this out, please, Jack? What's up? Okay. Gotcha. No problem. Gotcha. How we doing, folks? How we doing? Welcome back into Wisconsin Sports Daily. This is Charlie Usen. We will get Steve Sparky Pfeiffer right back here live from the 19th annual toy drive for Children's Wisconsin and Robin's Nest. He is currently working on getting his mic back up. Lost connection a little bit there at the end of the segment, but no problem as we work on getting Sparky back on air here, though. Let's dive into Charlie's Sounds of the Day.
What sound clips will Chicago Charlie pick today for Sparky? Will Sparky become enraged? Will laughter ensue? It's time for Charlie's Sound of the Day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
All right. So if you guys are brand new to Wisconsin Sports Daily, or the 3 o'clock hour of Wisconsin Sports Daily, maybe, here a little bit earlier than normal. Usually we're at 3:40, but this is a time where I get to have a little bit fun on the show. Usually it's at Sparky's expense. He gets a little bit angry at the clips I will play occasionally. Today I had some good clips lined up that I thought maybe he'd get really angry at, so I'll get angry at them for him. There's some crazy takes, some not so crazy takes. Let's start off by heading over to First Things First on FS1, where Greg Jennings, former Green Bay Packers wide receiver, played for a few other teams throughout his career, was on the show, and he was discussing why this game means more for the Chicago Bears than it does the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, this definitely means more for the Bears.
Wow.
Yeah, and I figured you guys would kind of be a little like, what? The Packers have dominated this series for the past 30 years. And when
Wow.
I know, the
30
Bears
years, like
in
30.
the Bears in recent history, like they finished 4th the last 3 years. You get a new head coach. He's now your 5th coach since Lovie Smith, the last coach to actually have some semblance of success against the Green Bay Packers. Ben Johnson you alluded to this yesterday. Soon as he gets the job, he alludes to how he's excited about, continuing to beat Matt LaFleur.
Yeah.
And he understands, but he hasn't shied away from it. He understands the magnitude of this rivalry. He understands what it means, not only to the people within that organization, but to the city of Chicago. On the other side, I'm listening to some of the Green Bay guys getting asked about this rivalry, and they're like, man, it's great that they're winning. We're excited. Do you think the rivalry is being restored? They're like, yeah, man, because they're finally winning. And if you're Chicago, you're hearing this stuff like, man, I don't need to hear that. It's been a rivalry. It's going to remain a rivalry. But the Green Bay Packers, they understand what's at stake. Chicago has been dominated and thoroughly beaten up in this division and in this series for so long, it naturally has to mean more to them.
I don't know if I 100% agree with you, Greg. Greg Jennings, again, former wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers on First Things First on Fox Sports 1, is discussing the Chicago Bears and saying that this run this season that they're having feels brand new and that this is a situation that they've never been in before, even in the past 5 years or so, where they've been able to have a moment like this where they can take on the Green Bay Packers at a level that the Green Bay Packers are normally competing at in a situation like this. And yeah, I get it how that can mean a lot to the Green Bay Packers or to the Chicago Bears in this situation, but they really have nothing loose to compared. I believe we have Steve Sparky Pfeiffer back on air here. Awesome. Were you able to hear Greg Jennings talking about why this game on Sunday means more to the Chicago Bears than the Green Bay Packers?
Yeah, I would agree with that statement. Obviously, we've talked about this before, and we talked about it with David Hall. I think Bears fans and Bears themselves look at this differently than they do if you're the Green Bay Packers. For the Packers, yeah, it's a game. It's a divisional game. You haven't lost a divisional game yet. They're above you in the standings, so it's an important game. For the Bears, though, when you've been a franchise that's been this bad for this long, this is about proving yourself to not only the Packers, but to the rest of the National Football League that, hey, man, we're the 1 seed. And everybody's laughing like, oh, they're never going to hold on to 1 seed, man. Get out of here. That's not going to happen. I mean, it's kind of, if we're being honest, if I'm Ben Johnson, and I don't know what he's preaching, but if I'm Ben Johnson, I'm preaching it's us against the world. Nobody believes in us. Nobody thinks we can do it. Screw them. Your mama don't even think you can do it. I mean, I am telling them everybody doesn't think they can do it and prove the world wrong. That's how I'm looking at this if I am the Chicago Bears at this point.
I get it, but also from the Packers standpoint, I think what Greg Jennings is saying is like, oh, this doesn't really matter that much to them. They're just big brothering the Bears right now. I think this still has a lot for the Packers on stake here. If they go out and lose to the Bears right away this season in the first matchup, I mean, that drops them down a whole tier lower than I think a lot of people have them at this moment and raises the Bears up into that next tier. This could be a real flip-flop game for them, and the Bears, being as young as they are, have a lot of great success ahead of them if this season is as successful as it has been so far. So
right, and if the Bears get swept by the Packers,
they're back to where they are. It doesn't,
correct.
But then that to me says that it doesn't matter as much to the Bears. If they are only a couple steps up on the ladder and they get knocked down 2 steps, it's pretty easy to climb back up those 2 more steps, hopefully.
Sure. Yeah, that's the positive outlook from Charlie Usen, who's Mr. Positive. No question about it. All right, what else do we got for sound here?
Next up, we're going to hear from Dan Orlovsky and Louis Riddick discussing how Jordan Love can put his name firmly into the MVP discussion on Sunday.
Dak Prescott played himself out of the MVP last night. I think Jordan Love has the opportunity to very much so start to play himself into it. I think that there's a couple guys ahead of it. The difference in Jordan Love recently is he's putting the ball wherever he wants in coverage. And if he continues to do that against Chicago, I don't think this game's close.
Yeah, he just has to keep an eye on one guy in particular. Keep your eye on Kevin Byard now.
Yeah.
This guy has been robbing people all season long. He is very opportunistic and smart. He's going to play games with you just like you try to play games with him. If Jordan is great with his decision-making and his field vision, I think they win the game. As you see, we have our picks up there on the screen. But look, this team is feasted. I mean, they are absolutely lapping the league as far as turnover differential right now. And there's a reason, and a lot of it has to do with the ball hawking nature of their second.
Real quick. A huge part of this game is, can Green Bay make Chicago one-dimensional? If they can, and they say, we want Caleb Williams on the road to beat us, Green Bay's advantage.
Okay, so this is the thing. I agree with Byard. I mean, he's really good. He was really good with the Titans, and the Titans let him go or whatever the case was, right, Charlie? He gets to
That was that big safety exodus that like the whole league had. They all cut their starting safeties at the same time for some reason.
Yeah, exactly right. All right, joining us now is Bubba Fight, Team Bubba Fight, and the Cottrell family. And listen here, I don't know what is going on because I think I'm just getting really old possibly at this point. I mean, this dude I'm sitting next to don't look like the dude that used to come into the toy drive every year and we would talk to. And Dawson Cottrell joins us now. Dawson, man, what happened, man? Did you grow up or what all exactly, what happened? I mean, I don't understand what happened. I mean, now you're out here, you're singing with the Oak Creek high school chamber choir, whatever, and got this fancy sweater on and looking all adult-like and all that. So how old are we now and how's life?
Well, I'm 18 years old now.
18. You're an adult.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I've had a lot of, I don't know, shifts in my life. I dress more maturely now, and like, I don't know, I take care of myself more. So I guess looking more mature.
Yeah,
I guess.
my 18-year-old looks like a slob, so I admire you. Looking at yours too, yeah. So I appreciate you dressing up and looking all mature and stuff like that. So for those people that don't know, and people listening in Green Bay and Wausau and Duluth and Superior on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network have not heard the Bubba Fight story. Those of you that are longtime listeners of this toy drive know it, obviously. Dawson, I don't know. Don't take his headset off. He's going to tell his own life experience.
Oh, that's
The parents are here like, we want to talk. Just I'll get to you, Dave Cottrell. Just relax.
Talk. Let him do his thing.
Yes, yeah. He's 18. He can talk for himself
he's
now.
A man now, right?
Yeah, he's a man. That's right. Absolutely. Okay, so tell everybody your story, man. It's from the beginning all the way through.
Well, there was a lot that I forgot about, but from what I was like told from my parents,
Experience,
perceptive. I was diagnosed at 5 years old with leukemia, and then like that's all I really know. I don't really know a lot from the experience.
So you don't remember everything that went down?
Yeah, I feel like I was too young to remember everything. There were only very specific like events that happened.
I'm sure you remember some of that stuff out too.
Yeah.
Right? That's part of it. So do you remember being cleared and saying you're good?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Do you remember being in this sunroom looking at your doctor and saying, thank you for saving my life? Because I will tell you, in 19 years, that is the toy drive that everybody will talk about for the rest. And how old were you? How old was he when he got cleared, Dave? Quit crying.
He was 8.5 when he was cleared.
8.5. So 3.5 years with that battle going on and doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is nuts. We had a person out here earlier with the North Shore Fire Department, and her son is now fine and playing baseball and volleyball. And he had brain cancer. And
my gosh.
He went through like 30 some surgeries, all this chemo. He's cleared. He's good. He's rolling. Everything is good. Children's Wisconsin. So, I mean, there are so many stories. And like I've always said, every time we talk about this story, like I can't imagine it, man. I got kids. Like I don't know physically or mentally how I would handle that. What would be calming and reassuring. And now I'll let Dave talk. You want to go sing with your guys?
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, you can be done. You can go sing. Yeah, you're good, man. You're good. I appreciate you.
This celebrity status has gotten.
Yeah, that's okay. He wants to go be with his family. I understand that.
There you go, baby.
So, I mean,
Heather would love to tell you how it started.
Well, I mean, I don't know. You're probably more apt to cry than she is at this point. So, I mean, I'm fine talking to her instead if we need to.
That's fair.
You already teared up. So Heather, let's talk to you first.
Sure.
So he doesn't remember much, and if I'm being honest, I think that's a blessing. That's a save from God, whatever, because there was a lot of long days, a lot of long hours through that. Talk about what that was when it started and then that process.
I originally it started in about December of 2012. And so I took him to the doctor because he had a rash, and we didn't know what it was because it wasn't like, it was a rash underneath the skin. And it didn't itch or anything. And so his doctor, I think, pretty much knew
what it was.
Mm-hmm. He took his blood just to make sure. And I was actually driving, and the doctor himself called me.
Never a good sign.
Nope. And he told me that the test looked like it was leukemia, and I should get him to Children's as soon as possible.
So this was done outside of Children's.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then once that happened, you're like, oh my God. Well, first of all, you're thinking your world's ending and everything else that goes through it. So there's a lot of emotions and crying and all of that, and probably some anger. Why us? All right. You go through all those emotions. All right. So now you are going to be like, okay, well, let's start the journey. Is it curable? What are the odds and all of that? So tell us about going from Children's standpoint forward.
Yep. When we were at Children's, we had a doctor, clarify that it was in fact leukemia. And like you said, we were like in shock.
Right.
Didn't know anything at that point. And then Dr. Sadie, who is Dawson's primary doctor, pulled us in and sat us down, and I looked right at her and I said, what are his chances? Because I didn't know.
Yeah.
And she's like high 90s. And my
You like,
was-
whoo, I feel much
Yeah.
better now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
the thing about it, if I could just say something real quick, is 20 years before Dawson was diagnosed, it was a 50-50 shot.
That's crazy.
So in 20 years, over 40% jump in surviving his type of
That's a ton.
cancer. And when we got brought in, I just got to say, it's Dr. Sadie DeBrosi, formerly of Children's Hospital, but she knows that she is our hero. She is Dawson's hero. She assembled a team at Children's Hospital that put a plan together. And this is what was big, is the uncertainty. But to sit down at a table, okay, this is what we're going to start with. Okay, this is where we're going to be in a week. This is where we're going to be in 2 weeks. This is the plan to have leukemia out of his body after 35 days.
And they're telling you what Dawson physically is going to be experiencing as well, I would
Absolutely.
imagine, right? So you know what's coming.
Well, and I can tell you, one of the things, they give you a little thing of beads when you go into the hospital, and it's Dawson's name and then beads. This thing was 6 inches long, and 4 inches of it was his name. So they give you a bead every time you have some type of surgery, needle poke, transfusion, blood transfusion, whatever it could be, whatever you go through, they give you a tiny little bead. Please imagine the size of a bead. Just imagine it in your finger right now. That started out as 6 inches. It is now 15 and a half feet long.
Oh my God.
So when you can develop something so long for what you've been through in a small molecule of the size of a bead, you can just imagine how many times Dawson had to go through something at
Yeah.
Children's Hospital.
Absolutely crazy. And like I said, you guys have been coming out here through all of that and donating toys and bigger and better. And then he gets cleared. Going into that meeting or whatever the case was, were you anticipating we should be good? Did you have any idea it was going to be that day, the reaction, everything?
So in the beginning, they pretty much put as much chemo and steroids, like it's part of the plan,
Right.
in like a 30-day period to try and kill all of the leukemia. And so we had to do another bone marrow pull and wait for those results. And that was like about 35 days
It's about
after
35
Dawson was
days, yeah.
diagnosed. And then we got the results that they could not detect any more leukemia in his body, but we still had to continue with treatment for 3.5 years to make sure that it, to give him the
And
best
you're on
chance of it
pins
not
and needles for
progressing.
3.5 years.
And that's what I was going to say. Not only that, but think of the day that we knew this was coming. Here's the appointment. You're coming on in.
Yeah.
We're sitting there, our hearts pounding through our chest, and we're just, well, tell us. And literally one of our doctors, who's awesome too. What was her name again? She was awesome, the redhead. I can't remember her name offhand, but she just looks at us. She goes, oh, you want to know? Oh, leukemia's gone. And I'm like, and I fell to the floor, and you know what I did?
Yep.
I just started bawling.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh my God. And it was a huge relief at that moment. But what people don't understand, what you go through, is there's so many different reliefs.
Yeah.
And one of the things I talk about this when we go talk to people with Bubba Fight is the little things counted, the tiny little things. So like when he would get poked and prodded, how I heard the CEO earlier, Gil, talking about how they're thinking more mentally in Children's Hospital. They would have a unit come in and distract Dawson with an iPad. Hey, let's do this.
Sure.
Let's do that. Tried to teach him how to swallow a pill. People don't understand the simple swallowing of a pill, what it did for our life.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Because we would
have to hold it
crush it
down.
and mix it with applesauce. We would crush it and mix it with peanut butter. He could always tell when it was in something.
And he
We're-
wouldn't eat it?
We're like, dude, this is what's going to save your life. At 5, he doesn't get that.
Right.
Yeah.
There's moments we were in the bathroom. I'm literally holding him down, screaming and crying, and she's having to shove it down his throat.
Yeah.
And the
It's
day
rough.
that he goes like this
Done.
and he smiles,
Right.
we fall apart crying over something so simple because that just made life so much easier for all of us.
No doubt.
And the people at Children's Hospital that through our entire journey, like
The nurses and all those, right?
we're
They-
still friends.
They
with a lot
become
of them.
family,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. We're friends
Yeah.
on Facebook. We talk about it. Hopefully they're all listening. We love you all. And
He goes back once a year.
yeah,
Like, he
once a
was
year just to check.
Yeah.
Because you know the thing is what's sad is cancer. It doesn't judge. It comes
Correct.
after everybody.
That's right.
And it can pop its ugly head anytime. And to say that he is now a cancer survivor And it's been, 13 years since he was diagnosed. You know, he's going off to college next year. He's doing great things. He's so driven to be successful.
Yeah.
There's a chance he didn't get a shot at that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he got that shot. And so many kids will get that shot because of what Children's Hospital does.
No doubt.
And that's why we do this with the toys.
Well, we also know when we were in the hospital at this time. So
you
know what this does.
Mhm.
You know, he was given wrapped presents. We thought we were going to be there for Christmas.
Yeah, we decorated his room.
Fortunately, got to leave a few days before
Okay.
Christmas. But these little, even like little art books, anything, like these kids look at this stuff and it just brightens them. They have closets full of toys that when they have a clinic day, they can go and they can pick something from the closet. These things help them through their chemo treatments that can be long. And so any little, you know, even a little car for a little boy to, you know, play with.
So
while he's
basically
getting
what
his
my
chemo.
wife is saying is we still have a couple of hours down here at Fleet Farm.
Till 6
Get your-
o'clock.
as Sparky says, because I listen to him, get your butts down here.
Yes.
We as Team Bubba Fight, you know, I love that Sparky's back and 105.7's back stronger than ever.
Wisconsin Sports Radio Network now. Man,
baby.
we're all over the
I'm
state.
so happy to have them back. I might actually try to get Sparky to give me a part-time job so I can be around these guys more.
We'll talk.
We'll talk. But we went and gathered a ton of toys again. You can't see it, but I have a pickup truck full. I always do my little Santa, you know, I'll put it in a tarp and try to tie it up. We have a bunch more in front that didn't even fit in my truck. And I just want to say a big thank you to those that contributed. So Talia Hyatt, the music director at Pius High School, our daughter now, who used to come to these toy drives as Dawson's big sister.
That Pius choir was on point yesterday.
And they were here yesterday. They were a part of the toy drive. A good friend, Corey Higgins, who is the counseling director at West Milwaukee Middle School.
Oh, okay.
They got involved. And then without question, Miss Passetti and Mr. Dubs, the music directors at Oak Creek High School, went off. I showed up today and I'm like, we may have to go get the Jeep or the trailer. I mean, I could not believe how they came through and the choir really came through and really supported this.
And now they're here and they're singing
here,
inside right now.
And they sound amazing. They're one of the best groups. And they're getting ready to fight for regionals, sectionals, and then nationals are in New York.
That's
so
awesome.
It's no joke, you know. So this is just amazing what 105.7 The Fan does to give time to recognize truly what Children's Hospital is all about. And from the bottom of my heart, I'm looking at two of them now, and including Gil, and just saying, you know, thank you for what you do. Thank you for everything that goes on at Children's Hospital, because honestly, without you guys, my son may not be here.
That's right. Absolutely right. Now, again, I know you're listening to Wausau, Duluth, Superior, Green Bay. Come on, man. Wipe your tears away from your face. Grab your cell phone. I'll give you a second. Okay. Text TOYS, 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 TOYS to 34984 and make a donation and help us out. I know you can't get down here to donate toys or whatever because you're around the state, or maybe you're in southeastern Wisconsin and can't make it. Text TOYS to 34984 or donate online at wisportsradio.com. We will be here at Blaine's Farm and Fleet on Rawson Avenue in Oak Creek, collecting cash and toys. Have the QR code if you want to scam that. Up until 6 p.m. tonight. This is the last day. We have not filled the semi. We are trying to fill the semi. Need your help. So come on down here between now and 6 o'clock. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank. Steelwind Industries, our top toy donor this year, like they are every year. Buy the Yard with a sizable toy donation as well. And Metro by T-Mobile. And, of course, we're broadcasting from the Bear Sun Room. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky here. Charlie's texting me. My phone's not even with me. I just looked at my phone. Charlie's like, coming back soon. I'm not even in the sunroom, man. That was good that you were trying to get a hold of me. I'm on here.
Contact you.
I'm on here trying to load toys and everything else from Team Bubba Fight that's out here. This high school chamber choir, whatever going on from Oak Creek, they are right as you walk in and hear them singing. It is amazing. Like our volunteer that's out here from Children's, she's like I'm like crying listening. Like this is just phenomenal. They are, I don't know, they've got to be like 30 or 40 kids out there, and it is strong. They are so good. Like everybody's just shooting video and not even shopping and recording these guys, and they're going to be doing the tree lighting for Oak Creek at Drexel Town Square coming up tonight. So if you're in the Oak Creek area later tonight, you will hear them, and they are really, really good. These kids from Oak Creek High School. I realized something, Charlie. Next year, when we do this, the 20th annual toy drive, I'm going to have to go to Bear's Sunroom, and I'm going to have to ask, or if you're listening right now, I think I need another one of these next year. I think I'm going to need 2, because what I think is going to happen next year is I'm going to need a activity production staging area to where we can have them singing on the air with like a boom mic or something, and we can have these Christmas carols on the air from the different choirs in the area or whatever the case may be. And I think that'd be pretty cool, because right now, like if you're listening around the state of Wisconsin, you don't get to hear this. You didn't get to hear the high school choir yesterday. You don't get to hear the high school choir today. And they are so, so good. And I have no way of letting everybody else hear how good they are. And y'all are missing out. I'm missing out because I'm here doing this and I'm not in there listening to them right now.
I think you have to be careful, though, because Mitch Thunder Nellis, will be singing along with them on air, and then that's going to be a whole debacle because then people have to listen to him sing, too, along with the carolers, and I don't know if we can have that. That might be an issue.
This is the thing. There's a reason why they come when Mitch is gone, right? I mean, I have not scheduled anybody while Mitch Nellis is here for 2 reasons. Number one, they're in school when Mitch is on the air with Mason Crosby and Tommy Wirtz from noon till 2, right? Number one. Number two, yes, that would be a fear that Thunder would try to hug every person in the choir and then beg and beg and beg that, he could sing with them. Nobody has a bigger heart than Mitch Thunder knows. I will say that.
He's
I love
like
me
the
some
reverse
Thunder.
Grinch. That's how I
Yes, he's like the reverse Grinch. Yes, happy all the time, all of that stuff. Like, yeah, love me some Thunder, no question. Okay, so we got a few minutes here. Ryan Wood, who normally joins the show on 2:40 on Fridays. Charlie, you moved him to 4 o'clock today in the Green and Gold Update, brought to you by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, correct?
I did indeed. Yes, Ryan Wood is going to
You did. We were doing the sounds of the day previous to being joined there by the Cottrell family. And again, that was powerful, powerful stuff there, talking about their son Dawson Cottrell and everything he's gone through as we're out here at the 19th Annual Toy Drive for Children's Wisconsin and Robin's Nest. Donate online at wisportsradio.com. Text TOYS to 34984. Again, out here, Blaine's Farm Fleet on Rawson Avenue in Oak Creek, collecting cash and toys up until 6 p.m. And then that's a wrap for the 19th Annual Toy Drive. Our Food Responders food truck just got here with the meatballs, the mac and cheese, the pulled pork, the brisket, the buffalo chicken, all that stuff. They'll be up and going here at 4 o'clock till 6 o'clock. 100% of the donations from this food truck is going to go to this toy drive for Children's Wisconsin and Robin's Nest. So hopefully y'all come out, buy some toys at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, buy some great food, and you'll be very, very happy. You'll be a happy, happy Friday. That we were doing that sounds of the day. Did you have one left? Because I heard 2. Do you have one left?
I do have one left, and I'm glad I have one left because it's the one that I think was going to make you the angriest, Sparky. This is
How
awesome.
on the Friday of the toy drive are we trying to make Sparky mad?
Well, it's not my fault. Bill Simmons decided to go on his podcast. He went on the Bill Simmons podcast and decided to offer up 2 more trade ideas because we
Who
heard
is this?
Bill Simmons, your favorite.
Oh, he's the one doing the. I thought it was a guest on Bill Simmons' podcast.
No,
okay, go ahead.
He's the one making the trade predictions here.
Mr.
It is
Celtic.
with the Miami Heat, not the Boston Celtics.
2 different people mentioned this to me in the last 24 hours. I just wanted to mention this team, and it chills my bones. The Heat of Miami. 2 different scenarios. One has Bam in it, which I think if you're doing this, you probably try to keep Bam. But pretty easily, you can do the 3 brothers, Giannis and his 2 brothers. They have to be in the trade. You got to take both of them.
Okay.
With Bobby Portis, and you get back Hero and Bam, Yakashonis, who needs to leave Miami because he's a pick and roll guy and they don't run pick and rolls, and picks. And that's one. But I think the more likely one, which is interesting to me, 3 brothers, Hero, Ware, who's good, Wiggins, and picks.
Is that all?
That is all. Yes. Yeah. It was just those two.
I said yesterday, and I will say this again. I do not want star players back in this deal. I want picks. That's all I want. Or rookies or second-year players that were lottery picks. Like Cleo Ware would fit that mold, I guess, to a degree. He's got a ton of upside. So, okay, I'd listen to that. But again, that's not really an offensive-minded player per se yet. I think he can get there. He showed flashes in college that he could do a little something. I remember I liked him coming out of the draft. I like Khalil Ware a lot. So I listened to that. The Bam Adebayo thing, him and Giannis have the same agent, if memory serves correct. So I'm sure they're going to do everything in their power to keep those two guys together. I didn't think of the angle that Bill Simmons brought up.
You're giving him credit for something?
Yes.
Wow.
They have to give the two brothers away with them, right?
Everybody's been
So
putting
that
like
means that's
Thanasis
two
in
ro-
these trades, but not Alex. I haven't
What?
heard Alex a lot in these trades. I've seen Thanasis in a lot of the trades, like proposals.
Whatever,
that people
fine.
put out there.
But that opens up additional roster spots that aren't being used anyhow right now. I mean, you can get a viable, really good NBA player potentially, to put in there, or somebody with a lot of upside. Because listen, I'm not trying to be mean to Thanasis. He's good podcast guy, right? He's
He had
come
a really
a long
cool
way with
dunk
this.
last week.
Yeah. All right. Good podcast guy. All of that, which is good. Get a little up there in age, though, right? He's a little older. So if I could get somebody that is, a rookie, a second-year player, something like that I can develop on the bench where he's sitting right now, I think I'd be all for that. Thanasis is a great teammate. He's a cheerleader, all of that. I'm all about having cheerleaders and good dudes on the team to pull that off. But I did not think of the other team probably gets told by Giannis, you got to bring my brothers with me or I ain't coming. And what are you going to say if you're the other team? No. Of course, absolutely. We'll take everybody. No problem, Giannis, right? Unless you're the Bulls, you don't even want Giannis, so they're not going to take the brothers. But, outside of the Bulls, according to reports, everybody else would probably take the brothers without any issue.
I don't see why not. You're getting Giannis in return, one of the top 5 greatest Milwaukee athletes of all time, Wisconsin athletes of all time. Right now, that poll says he is top 3, not GOAT, not top 5, not top 10, as with 32 votes right now. So still a little early.
Well, that's not. That's not a
still
lot of
early
votes
into
at
it,
all. You all need to get on X and go vote on Giannis and where he ranks all time amongst Wisconsin greats, right? So Lou Alcindor, Brett Favre, Bart Starr, Aaron Rodgers, Robin Yount, all those guys. Where does he rank all time? I think he's one. I think he's the GOAT. If you include on court, off court, everything that goes along with it, I think Giannis is one. Options for you to pick from. Go vote now at WI Sports Radio on X, at WI Sports Radio on X. We're live streaming there, live streaming on YouTube as well. Take a quick time out, come back. We will talk with Ryan Wood, Packers beat writer for the Green Bay Press Gazette, as we broadcast from the 19th annual toy drive for Children's Wisconsin and Robin's Nest out here at Blaine's Farm and Fleet on Rawson Avenue in Oak Creek. Collecting cash and toys this week up until 6 p.m. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky here.
Some shows talk about one team. Other shows barely talk sports. This show will talk Packers, Brewers, and Bucks every day. Every day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer, served up by Wendy's on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Download the Wendy's app today.
Welcome in. It is Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. 19th annual toy drive out here at Blaine's Farm and Fleet at Oak Creek, and you all are missing it, man. The Oak Creek High School Chamber Choir is simply amazing. They were inside singing songs. They were just singing a song outside here. It is something to behold. They'll be at the Oak Creek tree lighting ceremony coming up tonight as well, performing. That's where I'm going when I'm done here, because I want to go actually take this in and check them out too. You have until 6 o'clock to get your toys donated here at Blaine's Farm and Fleet in Oak Creek. Time is running out. It's the last day, still trying to fill up that semi. Donate online. Come on, we're still looking for some more money online if we can get it. If you are somebody that can donate $5, couple dollars, more than that, that would be great too. Donate online at wisportsradio.com. Text TOYS to 34984. That's TOYS to 34984. Toy Drive brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, Steelwind Industries, By the Yard, and Metro by T-Mobile. Broadcasting to you from the Bears Sunroom. Bears Sunroom, not Bears. Let me make sure to get that right. Don't forget, when the Bucks win, you win at Wendy's. After every Bucks win, stop by any participating Wisconsin Wendy's for a free small vanilla or chocolate frosty classic. No purchase necessary. This offer is only good for 24 hours after a win, so act fast. Get that free small frosty classic at Wendy's. Joining us now, he is Packers beat writer from the Green Bay Press-Gazette, Ryan Wood. Follow him on X by Ryan Wood. And I know the game you are playing, Ryan Wood. I am on to you. I know the game we are playing, Ryan Wood.
That makes one of us. So do tell.
So ever since this video and picture surfaced of you in your younger days looking like a stud on South Beach, you have not appeared on video once since we've started using that picture on X and on YouTube, because you really are digging this whole Ryan Wood with hair looking young and handsome and all that thing. That's really why you've been on the phone every time since, isn't it?
I had to go into hiding, Sparky.
Yeah.
For my own dignity.
You don't want people to know what you really look like now, right?
It's just, I can't compare with 23-year-old me. Who among us can?
No,
who among
not
us
really.
can compare to early 20s college age us? So now that you put that out there for all the world to see, all of Packer Nation to see, I had to go into hiding.
Yeah, no, it's legit. I mean, it's something different. I mean, you're not wearing a pink suit coat in it, thank God. But yeah, I mean, you're looking good nonetheless. You can see his pretty face there on X and YouTube, streaming live at WI Sports Radio. All right, so let's talk about the Green Bay Packers. Who that hasn't played in the last couple of weeks is going to play on Sunday against the Bears?
Let's start with Quay Walker. He's dropped from the no status, no designation for Sunday. That is huge. Why, Sparky? Because the Eagles just gave up 100,000 yards against this Bears offense, right? This running game for the Bears, you got to have Quay Walker between the tackles. He is playing the best ball of his career. And without having Devontae Wyatt especially, boy, this is a big week for Quay Walker to be back. All eyes are on Jaden Reed. And I feel like he's going to be out there. We shall see. And I know you ask me every Friday, okay, who's going to play, who's in, who's in. It's always guesswork, and this is really no different. But it feels like he's trending in that direction. The bigger question, of course, since he hasn't played this week too, is how good he can be his first game. But he's not coming back from soft tissue injury. These are two bone injuries. It is very different. The fear of re-aggravation is not the same when it's not soft tissue. So I do expect him to be back. We'll see how good he does. Not on the injury report, but I think it's a fair point. Josh Jacobs by the time he's on the field against the Bears, he'll be 3 days short of a full month in which he has essentially played one game, because he only had 12 snaps in New York. He didn't play against the Vikings. His last, he obviously had a full workload against the Lions, but the last time before then was November 10th against the Eagles. Wow. And I think that is very significant because, okay, you want to talk about the Bears rushing offense. Let's talk about the Bears rushing defense that ranks 28th. And let's talk about a Packers offensive line that's figured some things out now with Sean Ryan at center, Anthony Belton at right guard. And a fresher, I know Josh Jacobs he's saying that it's still tender, his knee, but a lot better than it was a couple weeks ago. I think that's also very significant.
Yeah, that's something you wrote a great piece talking about that Packers offensive line and how this has changed with Anthony Belton at right guard. I'm curious, how's Jordan Morgan holding up through all of this? Are you all just stopped talking to him now so we don't really know, or how's he doing with this demotion at this point?
Yeah, it'd be a guess to know how it's going between the ears. The bottom line is this: he is a left tackle. He has always been a left tackle. Not every player. I mean, the Packers have been very spoiled with the Zach Toms and the Elton Jenkins of the world that come in at offensive line and just are able to play all 5 positions at a plus level. Not every lineman's like that. That's actually quite rare, which really underscores how terrific Zach Tom and while healthy, Elton Jenkins have been over their time in Green Bay. It's rare to be able to do that. Jordan Moore's a left tackle. If the Packers, we'll see what happens this spring, but if they don't re-sign Rasheed Walker come this spring in free agency, Jordan Morgan's a left tackle next season. I think his days of this experiment of trying to be a guard are over. And Anthony Belton, you have a 336-pound road grader that Matt LaFleur, I mean, it's a work in process on pass protection, but Matt LaFleur pushed back when I asked him about giving something up in pass protection. He said that he felt like there's been less push at guard with Belton in. So that if he's even playing Jordan Morgan even in the pass pro game at guard, it's an easy decision to put Anthony Belton in at right guard because of what the push, the people moving that you get with him on the run game.
This is the other thing about this. We've seen both sides of the ball show how conservative they can be. We've seen this Packers offense show they can be conservative and a lot of running the football and not really leaning on Jordan Love and people getting frustrated. Then you see Jordan Love wing it on Thanksgiving against the Lions, and everybody gets all excited calling into the Green Bay football post-game show powered by Lakeland University with Tommy Wirtz and myself. We'll be on again Sunday after the Packers-Bears game. And I'm like, y'all need to calm down because I don't think this is what it's going to look like the rest of the year. I think it's closer to a one-off than it was the rest of the year. They played it that way because of how the Lions defense plays heavy in the box. This game here against the Bears, 28th against the rush, I would expect this to be a more conservative game plan, a lot more running the football and taking your shots downfield and play action. What are you expecting?
Well, we know that Matt LaFleur, when he devises his offensive game plan during the week, tends to be very opponent specific. He identifies where can you attack a defense, and that's where he wants to design his game plan. So when you look at this Bears defense, they have a lot of ball hawks on the back end, not much pass rush, but a lot of ball hawks on the back end, and they give up a lot of rushing yards. So yeah, I would expect it this week. To your larger point, though, as far as whether they did what they did in the passing game in Detroit is repeatable, I think there's a couple factors at play there. The first starting with, can the receivers be that good again? I mean, that was the best game collectively from this wide receiver group, not just this season, but I mean, maybe ever. Like it was at the top of the charts. Everyone making plays, everyone catching the football, everyone contributing. If that's repeatable, then watch out because this offense may be different than we thought it was. But I do think that it's wise to be a little trepidatious with, okay, it was one game. Let's see if they can do it again. The other part of that is the run game. Let's look at that 51-yard touchdown for Christian Watson. That was set up late in the first half. They recognized the Lions were actually doing what very few defenses do. They were respecting the run. They were respecting Josh Jacobs. He had a 3rd and 2, broke it for 29 yards, first 20-yard carry of the year. He was respecting they were respecting this offensive line that get him movement off the snap. And so at halftime, they discussed, hey, early second half might be a chance to take a shot. It didn't just happen. It was directly tied to the fact that they were actually able to run the football at a respectable level, and then the deep passing game opened up. So can they do that again? And if they do that against the Bears, yeah, you might see some shots.
Ryan Wood, Green Bay Press-Gazette, Packers beat writer, joining us here on Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. So we broadcast from the 19th annual toy drive for Children's Wisconsin and Robin's Nest. Still time for you. Go here till 6 o'clock today. Come on down, make your donation. If you can't make it down here, you can always donate online at wisportsradio.com or simply text TOYS to 34984. That's TOYS to 34984. 4. Would really appreciate it as we try to fill our semi truck out here at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Okay, so when Tucker Kraft got hurt, everybody was like, well, this offense isn't going to look the same without Tucker Kraft. Like, they're going to have to change some things. Things are going to have to look different, because that was a centerpiece of kind of what this offense was. Tucker Kraft was becoming that number one, it appeared, in this offense. Now that we are a few weeks removed from that Tucker Kraft injury, how much, if any, would you say this offense has changed?
Well, they have a new number one. His name's Christian Watson, right? And even if Jaden Reed does come back this week, that doesn't change the fact that Christian Watson's the number one. The Packers have finally started to recognize that. In his first 4 games back to the torn ACL, Christian Watson had 17 targets. Want to guess how many targets he had the last 2 weeks? Half the time?
How many?
17 targets. So it's a deliberate, and that starts with the quarterback. Ultimately, I mean, the play caller calls the plays, but it's the quarterback's job to get the ball to the right matchups.
Sure.
He decides where he's throwing. Let's look at that 51-yard touchdown again. It was a mirrored concept. They had verticals running both sides, the right and the left. Christian Watson was on the right against Meek Robertson. On the left side was Romeo Doubs against DJ Reed. I asked Jordan Love, when do you decide which vertical you're going to target? He said before the snap. Why? Because of the matchup. He recognized, I got Christian Watson alone here. Go to him. And he didn't hesitate. He delivered. I think that is a step in the right direction, starting with this quarterback. I think understanding your matchups, where you're favorable on the field, and going there is a good thing to do. I understand that it's always going to be tricky with a receiving core this deep, a lot of mouths to feed. I understand the challenge there, but at the end of the day, offensive football at this level is about giving your best players the most chances to make game-winning plays, and they've started to do that with Christian Watson.
So when we talk about this game against the Bears and what this offense looks like for the Bears, I've said it all week long, and I'll say it again here on a Football Friday. If the Bears run 2-to-1 times, 2-to-1 ratio of running to passing, the Bears are going to have every chance to win this game, and very well could win this game. If that's a 50-50 split in rush attempts versus pass attempts, I think the Packers beat them, and they might beat them going away at this point. I would assume that this defense, like we talked about LaFleur on the offense, being very conservative rushing the football, this defense just has to be concerned about stopping those 2 running backs. And now with Rome Odunze out, just seeing if Caleb Williams can beat him with his arm, because I don't think he can, Ryan Wood.
Well, he's completing 58%, so that's not efficient enough, right? And for all the plays that he does make, and he can make a lot of plays, that he's going to have to be better than that. I get your point. Yes, the run defense, especially Sans, Devontae White, is going to be tested, and they're going to have to stand up to that test. When I think about who wins this game, the number in my head over and over again all week is plus 17. I mean, the Bears are plus 17 in turnover margin, which is ludicrous. I mean, that's not good. That far overshoots the term good. The next closest, that's plus 17 leads the league. Next closest, a collection of 3 teams at plus 9. They're almost lapping the entire NFL in turnover margin. That is why they are 9-3. Now, the Bears have the best defense in the league taking away the football. They're one of the best offenses in the league, obviously, in mitigating turnovers and avoiding those mistakes. One of the few offenses that are better than the Bears when it comes to that department is the Packers, who are the best in the NFL with only 7 turnovers. To me, who wins the ball? I mean, that's good on good. Packers offense not turning the ball over against this ball-hawking Bears defense is good on good. Who wins the ball is winning this game. If the Packers get out of this game clean offensively, if they don't turn the ball over, they're going to win. If they have some turnovers, they very well could lose their second straight at Lambeau Field against this team.
I don't even want to think about it, because we had David Hahn from The Score yesterday in Chicago, and David Hahn was like, Caleb Williams is undefeated at Lambeau Field. I was like, man, stop. I don't want to think about it. Yeah, right. I don't want to hear about that nonsense. Okay, so who's the better coach in this matchup? If it comes down to the end, it's going to come down to coaching. Which side you got?
Boy, that's a great question. I just said small sample size alert, right? So I've got to go with Matt LaFleur based on the sample size, but it's just so hard because Matt LaFleur giveth and Matt LaFleur taketh away. Matt LaFleur coached his butt off in Detroit. I mean, that was a Super Bowl winning performance from the sideline. He out Dan Campbell. For all the legitimate gripes that you can make about him as a game manager, it was flawless. in Detroit. He has that in his back. He showed that, right? That's the reason he's coached in big games. Ben Johnson hasn't coached in big games yet. I don't know what to expect from him in a moment like this. The Bears have the lowest strength of schedule in the NFC. Of 16 NFC teams, they are 16th in strength of schedule. You have to take them seriously because they just marched into Philly and beat Philly in Philly. And no matter how much the Eagles might be reeling, they were reeling last month when they came to Lambeau Field and the Packers didn't win that game. So that you got to take that seriously, but you also got to actually pay attention to the last in the NFC in strength of schedule. This is a huge game. This is not just rivalry. This is the most significant rivalry game since 2013 between these two. Matt LaFleur's coaching a lot more big games. I got to give the edge there.
Make your prediction, Ryan Wood. Where you going?
Packers 30, Bears 23. I understand that the Bears don't suck. They are a team you have to take seriously. I think the Packers will. I mean, it's so interesting, the dynamic, because if you go back to after that Vikings game in the media room, Jordan Love, Matt LaFleur, looking up at the TV screens, watching the end of, as they're answering questions, watching the end of Lions-Giants. The Lions are the team that they've had their eyes on for a few years now. They were the hunter in that matchup. From his introductory press conference, the team that the Bears have their eyes on is the Packers. Ben Johnson calling out Matt LaFleur was not a coincidence. The Packers are the hunted this week. The Bears are the hunter. I think home field advantage matters, and I want to take the Packers.
There he is, Ryan Wood. Follow him on X by Ryan Wood, and he'll keep you updated on all the stuff each and every day throughout the course of the week. And, of course, during the game, after the game, hear him on the Green Bay Football post-game show powered by Lakeland University right here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network with Tommy Wirtz and myself. We'll be back at it again after Bears and Packers coming up on Sunday. Ryan, thank you so much. Enjoy the game.
Hey, you too. Take care.
There he is. There he goes. Ryan Wood joining us. Coming up next, a Fantasy Football Friday is what I was told. A Fantasy Football Friday. Joe Bartel, he is still good from RotoWire. I just want to make sure I'm right on this.
As far as I know, and he said he's going to be on video. As far as
there you go. There you go. Hey, don't forget Prize Picks. It's the holiday season, best time of the year for sports, bowl games, basketball matches, playoff push-its. It's all happening at once while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which games to watch. There's one place where it feels good to be right, Prize Picks. It's daily fantasy. All you're doing is doing more or less on different daily stat projections for your favorite players. Now, once you do that, you have the flex play options, which means even if you get one wrong, you can still cash in and win with Prize Picks. Very cool, right? Plus, you can also do stacks as well on Prize Picks, where you can take the same player and stack them together 2 or 3 times inside each other. And they have the injury reboots as well, where if your player gets hurt in the first half of a game, it doesn't ruin your entire lineup. That person is just taken out, and your lineup stays active. How cool is that? Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code SPARKY, SPARKY, to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code SPARKY, SPARKY, to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details. And again, like I said before, $5 it costs you. If you do each daily lineup for $5, you can pick whatever nomination you want. But let's say you do each line for $5. They give you 50. That means that's 55 divided by 5. I know I'm on the radio, but I can do that. 11 lineups you can do before you're out of money by simply putting 5 in. Why wouldn't you at least try it? Maybe you'll like it. Maybe you'll have some fun. Maybe you win a bunch of money and then be sending me tweets at Sparky Radio saying, thank you, Sparky. I now can really go hog wild, for the holidays here and get a bunch of presents. Absolutely. You could have been doing it this whole time and really had a big old donation to the toy drive here today. 19th annual toy drive for Children's Wisconsin and Robin's Nest. We'd love to see you out here till 6 o'clock. Got our food responders food truck out here from King's Catering in Oak Creek. Charlie, they got my favorite meatballs. They bring every Friday. I demand of it. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. It's in like red sauce, give you like little toothpicks, just meatballs. Amazing. Then they got like a macaroni cheese type bar, right? You could put pulled pork on it. You could put brisket on it. You could put buffalo chicken on it. You can do whatever you want with their mac and cheese that they have going out here. This is what makes this toy drive so special, man. Top-notch food. Fill your belly. Feel all nice and warm inside. Buy some toys. warm up your heart, donate some toys to, go home and sleep well. I mean, what more? Full service, baby. Full service, Charlie Usen.
I might have to try it all. I think that would be the plan. I have to try all the different mac and cheeses, get some meatballs. You know, I am a little disappointed no stroganoff this year, but you know what? Next year. There's always next year.
20 years next year. So bigger, better things. Bigger, better things next year. But the food this week has been on point from King's Catering. So I appreciate those guys for stepping up. Steve Wilding and Mike Wilding for doing this for us again this year. Year 2 of them being a part of this. Coming up next, we will talk some fantasy football. Get your questions in now. Nicolay Law Talking text line 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250 on the socials at WI Sports Radio. And again, it's Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky here. Welcome in. It is Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook out here. 19th annual toy drive for Children's Wisconsin and Robin's next. Tick, 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 tick. We are only 90 minutes away from closing out the 19th annual toy drive. We have had a very, very good Friday, but you know me, I'm greedy. There are lots and lots and lots of kids around the state of Wisconsin that can use these toys, whether they be in their time of need, whether they be battling something in Children's Wisconsin around the state. This is a big, big deal for me. This is my favorite week of the year. I live to get to this week of the year every year. I cannot wait. My family knows it's my favorite week. They love coming out here and being a part of the toy drive as well. My kids will hang out here from time to time up throughout the course of the week. Everybody I work with knows it's my favorite time of the week. I'm sad that this is going to be coming to an end at 6 o'clock, but I'm very, very proud of all the participation and donations that have come in from all over southeastern Wisconsin. It's just been incredible, amazing. But let's make a big final push here. Big final push. You're listening within the sound of my voice, and you can make a donation of any sort online. That would be cool too, right? wisportsradio.com or text TOYS 34984. What happens is it'll send you a link. You click on the link, and then you can make your donation. So text TOYS, TOYS, to 34984, or donate again online, wisportsradio.com. So if you are in southeastern Wisconsin, you have a few extra dollars, instead of maybe going to the store and getting some ice cream, or going and have a couple beverages tonight, maybe have one. Take some of that money, come in here, buy a toy quick on your way home tonight. That would be much appreciated too. Blaine's Farm and Fleet on Rawson Avenue in Oak Creek. Would love to see you. Come say hi to me. My phone has been blown up today. Hey, stopped out, deliver toys. Why don't you come see me? Well, you had a house room full of people. My guy Don Wachillis was out here donating toys. Love me some Don Wachillis. Does a great job doing college, covering college sports in southeastern Wisconsin. So thanks to Don Wachillis for donating too. All right, let's get to our fantasy football segment with Joe Bartel, RotoWire Fantasy Sports. He joins us on the guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that is all. Follow him on X at JB Fantasy Sports. What is going on, Mr. Joe Bartel?
Joe, need you to unmute, my man.
Sorry, I'm excited for Week 14 here. I think the football is going to be pretty fun. I think hopefully Packers Bears is the result that we all wanted to as well too. But overall, should be a really fun Week 14 slate here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So you give me your hot takes here on both sides here for the Packers and the Bears. As far as guys you look at and go, okay, these guys are must starts. And then, okay, if you're in some trouble, maybe these are your secondary options, maybe in both offenses.
Yeah, I don't know if both DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai get going. I think if you're the Packers, you're going to be selling out to stop that run and let Caleb Williams beat you. I don't know if he will. I know we've had our arguments on that in the past, but I would rather have Jeff Hafley say, Caleb Williams, do what you need to do. And no, Rome Odunze for the Bears might make that a little bit easier for the Packers to sort of stop that passing attack. I think you're playing one of or both of DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai, especially no Devontae White. I'm a little bit concerned that they just can't stop the run, even though they might put more emphasis on that. For the Packer side of things, you're playing Josh Jacobs, obviously. I think you're playing Christian Watson at this point, too. I'll be very curious to see if Jayden Reed's able to play. What does that do overall for that offense? Not that you're playing Jayden Reed, but can that open up even more explosive plays for Jordan Love specifically? I mean, Love's right on the fringe of quarterback one. 4 teams on bye this week. You might have to consider playing him. I think it's going to be cold, but hopefully not much wind, no other precipitation as well. And I would hope that Matt LaFleur will let Jordan Love open up the offense once again, like we saw last Thursday against the Lions. I don't want the conditions to be a factor or allow it to be a factor like it was against the Eagles a couple weeks ago. Like this needs to be a game in which Jordan Love, I think, tries to win the football game for the Packers.
Do you buy in? Now, let me ask you this. Which running back would you invest more in as far as in that Bears backfield?
I think Kyle Monangai, if we're doing like a DFS thing, I know we were talking about a little bit earlier, I think Kyle Monangai is probably a little bit cheaper. I think he's the more explosive of the 2 running backs. Not that DeAndre Swift can't do that, but I think Monangai probably is the one that both Monangai and Swift can be pass catchers for the Bears offense is a good thing. It means there isn't really a tell when one of those guys goes out there. And again, no Devontae White. I almost wonder if both are option. I would lean towards Monangai because he's been getting a few more red zone carries, but I really think it's just a hot hand approach, like the definition of what a hot hand carry is for those 2 backs. So I don't know if there's one I prefer necessarily over the other, but I guess Kyle Monangai is probably where I'd lean towards that.
All right, so let's talk about this Packers offense right now. My thought on it is that Jordan Love is probably not going to throw it a ton, and they're going to try and run it down the Bears' throat. 28th in rushing since Belton has gotten in there at right guard and Ryan at center. All of a sudden, this looks like a team that could run the football way better than it could before when it was Jenkins and Jordan Morgan at center and right guard. That's my thought. So if somebody came to me and said, hey, man, it's Jordan Love or another quarterback with a decent offense, I probably would suggest going with the other quarterback at this point. That's how I feel this game goes. What say you?
Yeah, I think you're right. Again, 4 teams on bye. So we're missing Drake May. We're missing Brock Purdy. I think there's probably one more of consequence. I'm forgetting as well. Maybe Jackson Dart as well, too, from a starting perspective. Your options are pretty limited. Like, would you play a bandaged or banged up Justin Herbert against the Eagles over Jordan Love? Well, I'll probably have Jordan Love in that instance. Do you want Jordan Love or Caleb Williams? I think that's probably a spot where you kind of think about either one of those. I'd rather have Jordan Love or Caleb Williams as well, too. So it can get really short on that list very quickly. And I imagine a lot of people might be debating Lamar Jackson or Jordan Love at this point with how bad Lamar Jackson's been playing. So there's room for the passing attack to be successful. I would agree with you, at least as a fan. I would like the Packers to establish the run, let Jacobs really set everything else up from that, and then let Jordan Love knock down the rest of the pins. I think it's a very easy way to do the offense, and also one that I don't really know how the Bears stop, especially Tyreek Stevenson, their secondary corner as well too for Chicago. So I hope it's Josh Jacobs that gets involved first and then Jordan Love, but I want Jordan Love to have some explosive pass plays. If he is under 200 yards passing or kind of around that spot, I'd be a little bit worried that the Packers don't do what they're supposed to do here Sunday.
Talking with our guy, Joe Bartel of RotoWire Fantasy Sports. Thanks for him coming on. He comes on each and every Friday. It's an amazing thing that he comes on every week and really appreciate it. And he's a Packer fan on top of that. So I also am pretty jacked about the idea of not having a Bears fan be our expert on a week-to-week basis on this radio show. When you look at what just happened in that Lions game and Cowboys game at this point, Cowboys playoff hopes pretty much diminished right now, and they pretty much took our guy, I'm blanking now, the wide receiver from Pickens, right?
Yes.
Is that who it is?
Mm-hmm.
They pretty much took him out of the game. So that was pretty impressive by what the Detroit Lions did. The other thing that was impressive was, again, Dan Campbell calling plays. I'm not a believer. I think it'll cost him in the playoffs. But Jahmyr Gibbs, and we were having a conversation the other day, me and a buddy. Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson, who would you rather have? And the talk was, might want Jahmyr Gibbs over Bijan Robinson. Both of them first-round picks. Both Atlanta and Detroit criticized and ripped for taking running backs that early in the draft. And no, it hasn't worked out for Atlanta, but the kid's a stud, regardless if it worked out for Atlanta or not from a win standpoint. Both are really talented. So I ask you, from a fantasy perspective, is Jahmyr Gibbs the clear winner in this thing? Is he going early and often next year in fantasy drafts?
Yeah, that's a great question, because if you look at the end of the schedule for the Lions, it's actually pretty difficult. They have the Rams next week as well, and a few other defense. I think the Steelers among that group, where it's not a guarantee that Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get 40 fantasy points. He actually has gotten, I think, over 35 fantasy points in full point PPR leagues in 4 of the past 7 weeks. So obviously, it's not a guarantee that anybody gets 40 fantasy points. But if there's one running back that could, it has been Jahmyr Gibbs. So I'm really nervous next week against the Rams if you're relying on Jahmyr Gibbs to be able to advance in the fantasy playoffs if you have that first round start next week, because that is a tough matchup for him. And while he got the 3 rushing touchdowns, it was actually another game under 60 yards rushing. He made the explosive plays as a pass catcher. Maybe that's the solution against the Rams. But your overall question for next year is one that I've actually been discussing a lot on the various places that I've been doing these radio hits, because you're right. I mean, the running back position as a whole, you could have Bijan be at the top there, Jahmyr Gibbs at that spot. I think there's room to have a Christian McCaffrey conversation, even though I'm worried about the injury concerns for him next season too. The volume he's been getting has just been insane. I think there would need to be some real aggressiveness for the Detroit Lions to affix their offensive line for me to comfortably take Jahmyr Gibbs with the number 1 overall pick. We don't have running backs go first overall very often anymore. Christian McCaffrey 2 years ago, but it's a very infrequent thing. So I would need to have some assurances that the Lions are going to play more like they have been 2 years ago. And I just don't know if that's the case with the brain drain that happened after Ben Johnson left for Chicago. I think the offensive minds overall in Detroit are a little bit less. And I mean, we're talking about a top 5 pick or top 1 pick. Like, Jahmyr Gibbs is clearly a first rounder, but I don't think it's a guarantee unless the Lions improve their offensive line that he's a 1-1 overall pick next year.
I think of Jacksonville Jaguars, Joe Bartel. I still don't think good things about them necessarily. But that offense, you've seen spurts from that offense so far. and Trevor Lawrence, a guy that I think some people like this week.
Yeah, I mean, is this because it's your Colts? Are we trying to put some voodoo on this or reverse jinx whatsoever?
I said most of the year, I don't believe this is real. I don't believe this is real. And then as soon as I bought in, Charlie will tell you, as soon as I bought in, they've lost 3 of the last 4 or whatever it is.
Yep.
Yeah, complete jinx. I never should have bought in. I should have just kept saying what I was saying and never bought in. As soon as I bought in and they reeled me in, there went the season.
I'm a little nervous about their postseason hopes. I have a few friends that are Colts fans too, and I'm a little bit anxious because their schedule is very difficult to end the year with Niners and Seahawks outside of AFC South foes that they're facing. I think Lawrence will be fine enough, but like, for example, we were just talking about Jordan Love earlier. I have more confidence in the Matt LaFleur offense, what I expect from the Packers to be able to set up from Josh Jacob runs, that I'd rather have Jordan Love over Trevor Lawrence. That's sort of in that same tier. Now, no DeForest Buckner. That was a critical piece for that Colts defense a couple weeks ago. And now add in addition, no Sauce Gardner out this week. We'll have to see how long he's out with that calf strain. I mean, that's going to present issues just overall defensively. It's one of those that I felt like they've gotten by with spare parts and sort of gluing things together best they can. But when you're missing your top players, the guys that really define what the Colts offense wants to do, theoretically, Jacksonville should be in a good spot. Whether that be Jacoby Myers, who's been actually a wide receiver two of the past 3 weeks now since that trade with Jacksonville in Las Vegas, and even Brian Thomas Jr. I wonder if he gets an explosive player too as well. The Colts are favored by 1.5 points, despite being in Jacksonville, and Jacksonville's missing their left tackle as well too. More than likely, Walker Little out with a concussion. That's going to be a big deal to get some pass rush opportunities. And I think Lawrence, if he gets pressured at all, if he gets skittish in any sort of capacity, that's a good thing for defenses. But he's probably in that tier where you could consider playing him in deeper formats for sure.
It's been a long time since I've cared about Cincinnati Bengals running back, if we're being honest, and even thought about playing them. But Chase Brown's been showing some stuff now, Joe Bartel.
No kidding. And the Bills' defense, one of the worst in the league against opposing runners. And this is the highest total. I believe it actually got to the highest total here Friday of the Week 14 slate. 54.5 points Vegas believes the Bills and Bengals to be at, which I don't blame them. I don't know how the Bills really stopped the Bengals passing attack now with T. Higgins also cleared from concussion protocol. He'll play alongside Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. I think Chase Brown will do just fine against that bad Bills defense. And conversely, Bengals defense, not very good. They have been better over the past 3 weeks, but Dalton Kincaid, I think, might be making his return after a multi-game absence. Bengals defense, one of the worst against tight ends. And Josh Allen can do heroics, especially when he needs to. And I think James Cook can also have a good game as well. The only reason this game is not close to the 55-point banger that Vegas believes it'll be is if there is weather conditions. And it does sound like it could snow in Buffalo for this game. But we know, and as fans of the Packers, like it can still snow and there'll still be offense abound. And I do think Bengals-Bills will be an awesome game and one that has a lot of points across the board on both sides.
I don't know who it was, but somebody just stopped and donated a complete shopping cart full of toys that they just bought inside Blaine's Farm and Fleet. So whoever you are, if you can hear me, she has a dog. She's far away. Hi there. Thank you very much for your donation. If you can hear me, I don't know if the speaker reaches that loud or far or not. I'm not quite sure how loud it is out there. Joe Bartel, thank you so much for coming on, my friend. I appreciate it. We'll do another Football Friday next Friday right here on Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's.
Sounds good, man. Thanks for having me on.
You betcha. Take care. There he is, Joe Bartel. Again on the guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call. That is all. Don't forget, Bucks home games, baby. Potawatomi Sportsbook. That's where you're going to want to be. Right, not only to watch the games and bet on the games, but you can park your car right there at the Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Nice covered parking lot. If it's snowing out or nothing, you won't get stuff all over your car like if you're doing it in an open air lot downtown. Won't got to pay crazy prices. It's free to park over there at that parking garage. But you do. There is a catch, right? There is always a catch. Potawatomi Sportsbook. You go over there, you make a same-day game wager, you can ask for the bracelet, and you get yourself on the shuttle. Or you make a purchase at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, right? They got a great kitchen at 48 beers, dozen different specialty cocktails, all-day brunch, homemade desserts and pastries, wings, sandwiches, salads, wraps, you name it. They have it, including that John Kuhn platter, which, again, I can't eat all of it, but I'm sure like a guy like Charlie usually could polish it off with probably no problem. Easy, right? Absolutely right. So go get some of that delicious food as well. And then once you get your purchase there at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, ask for a bracelet. The shuttles leave starting 1 hour and 15 minutes before the game goes. And then they would come back starting in the third quarter. And don't you dare be on a shuttle after halftime coming back. You have some faith in your Bucks basketball team. Get more information on all of that. Simply go to Potawatomi.com to get more information on the shuttles to and from the game. Things that Sparky missed coming up next. One last segment for the 19th annual toy drive for Children's Wisconsin. In front of me right now, Charlie, is a minivan, and they are unloading toys after toys after toys in the back of this minivan. How cool is it to be here at the 19th Annual Toy Drive for Children's Wisconsin and Robinson Nest, Blaines Farm and Fleet in Oak Creek? Come on down, donate. You have until 6 o'clock. Then it's done. You can listen, you hear me, and you're within an hour of me, and you still have time to come down here, buy toys at Blaines Farm and Fleet, stop by toys on the way. Nothing's going to be Toyland. Toyland is amazing inside Blaines Farm and Fleet. It's got everything you want for all your holiday shopping. So you can do it here too. Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Welcome back in. Last segment here at the 19th annual toy drive for Children's Wisconsin and Robin's Nest, Blaine's Farm and Fleet in Oak Creek. Thanks so much to Blaine's Farm and Fleet for having us out here all week long and letting us take up some space. And thanks to Bear Sunrooms, who's done an amazing job supplying us with this every year. You can check them out at bearsunrooms.com. So bearsunrooms.com. Just a very cool deal. I mean, this would be amazing in anybody's backyard or attached to their house or whatever. It's a pretty sweet deal. So thanks to them. Thanks to all the great sponsors all week. Tri-City National Bank, Steelwind Industries. I call them the guardian angel of this toy drive. They always come with the biggest donation every year. They're amazing. I love those guys. By the Yard, another sponsor this year. They came with a sizable donation. Metro by T-Mobile, also another sponsor. And then, again, I mean, sit here and think about this whole deal. And again, these are, in case things Sparky missed, brought to you by the Milwaukee Admirals. Make sure you catch yourself an Admirals hockey game this year. This is the part that I love the best, right? Where you get like Team Bubba Fight comes out here, the Cottrell family, and they have they filled 3 boxes of toys by themselves through different toy drives at different schools in the area and so forth. That was amazing. You have the firefighters that come out and do amazing stuff. Oak Creek Fire Department came out and did $3,400 in toys, which was amazing. North Shore Fire Department came out and did about $2,000 in toys, which was amazing. They drove here in their fire engine and the whole thing. So that was super cool. There's so many cool moments and big donations. And now we just had from Hales Corner Elementary, the Cub Scout pack. That's who was unloading that minivan full of toys, Charlie.
Oh, awesome.
The Cub Scouts were out here and a couple of the dads and unloading toy after toy after toy outside the minivan that the Cub Scouts raised for this thing. They were out here last year, too, donating to the toy drive. So thanks so much to them. And, of course, King's Catering in Oak Creek. The food responders, Steve and Mike Wilding, do a great job, too. And, again, Mike Wilding just gave me a container full of meatballs. Man, the show's not over, man. I'm going to spit this stuff all over the microphone. Man, you can't. That's like teasing me. It smells so good, Charlie.
You can't wait like 3 minutes, Sparky. Come on.
Man, I don't know, man. I am hungry. Food responders, King's Catering in Oak Creek, they're donating 100% of the money right back to Children's Wisconsin. Not taking food costs, not taking anything like that. 100% donation back. They will donate that money when this thing wraps up at 6 o'clock. The food is amazing. These meatballs are amazing. And then, of course, they have the macaroni and cheese going tonight on the food truck. Plus, your choice of toppings, right? You got pulled pork, you got the beef brisket, you got buffalo chicken, whatever it is that you may want. All delicious. But I'm telling you, if you've never had their meatballs, that is the home run of home runs. Meatballs are untouched by anybody. So check that out, too. Don't forget about our folks over there at Prize Picks Daily Fantasy. Make sure to download the Prize Picks app today. Use code Sparky to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code Sparky, SPARKY, to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details. All you're doing is more or less on 2 or more daily stat projections for your favorite players, right? On Prize Picks, you play how you want to play. If you want flexibility, choose Flex Play, where you can get paid even if one of your picks misses. And if you want the biggest payouts, go for the Power Play. No matter your play, Prize Picks is a great way to put your takes to the test. And don't forget, they got the injury reboot as well. So if your player gets hurt in, say, the first half of the game, your lineup isn't just nullified and done. The rest of your lineup continues, and that player is taken out. It is the way to go. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code Sparky to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code Sparky to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right for sure. Okay, so this is the fun thing about doing this toy drive. And that comes on Monday when we get to unload this semi, which I've not been up there recently, but I think we're pretty close to full. If we're not full, we're pretty dang close to full. And we have an hour left. I think we might be a box or two short. So if we can get some more of those toy donations, and more importantly, those online donations, if you're listening across the state in Wausau, Duluth, Superior, Green Bay, go online, donate, going up until 6 o'clock tonight, wisportsradio.com, or text TOYS to 34984. Still time for you. Text TOYS to 34984 up until 6 o'clock tonight. Do appreciate it. Thanks to all the shows for being out here. Mason Crosby was out here Monday. Mitch Thunder Nellis, Rami Makloff, Tommy Wirtz was out here earlier as well. His mom donated. Charlie's dad donated. A team effort. Thanks so much for tuning in. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. I'll be out here till 6 at Blake's Farm and Fleet in Oak Creek. Have a good night, Wisconsin. Toodles.